I need a pencil.
Reroll 6 is right. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. StevieMillPlays. This is the Return to Argela, Season 1, Episode 16. Hasty Retreat. I guess if y'all saw the link, the notification. Not to give out any spoilers, but we've definitely got some epic dice rolling on the horizon here. And we're going to be playing some D&D, continuing off from the end of the last session. Let's do a couple of quick introductions, but first of that, happy Monday, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone doing good? Everyone at home. Hopefully, if you're, I know we've got some people at home that aren't feeling the best. We definitely hope that they feel better, speedy recovery, and. Hope everyone had to work today. Was as stress-free as a Monday can be. That's not much you can ever say to that. But we've got some progressive D6 play lined up. If you're catching us up on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe at youtube.com/StevieMillPlays. And of course, if you come back and check us out on Twitch, please definitely give us a follow. Wouldn't be here without all this support. I definitely appreciate everyone, and yeah, we've got a different bit of an orientation tonight as well, because of everyone's generosity, because of everyone's donations and subscriptions, and a big shout out to my brother King Zelfer. We're able to get some cameras upgraded, so everything should look better and sharper. You maybe actually even can see Levi play tonight. So I definitely I'm super thankful, and so thank you everyone. Y'all are the best. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna do a couple of quick introductions. I am the game master Stevie Mill. I'm a long-time dungeon master, and doing this since I was just a little kid. Back then it was a game called 15 Fighters was the original name of it. What I did was I cut the little superheroes out of the playing trading cards, and I put them on the sheet for the classes you could pick from. All these different kind of guys, so right? Cool. So kid at home over the summer.
Imagination.
Played all my video games. What else am I gonna do, right? Yeah. So we this is really this is an iteration of that game. So if you're familiar with D&D, you'll definitely recognize some of the core mechanics. But as far as the dice that we roll and the way the statistics work, it's a whole different homebrew. Zelfer, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, definitely kudos to you for hooking me up. It's got some magic cards too coming. Man, I can't wait to get my hands on that Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so I can do some damage in Commander. Can't wait. But thank you. And he was a member of the Great Five, King Zelfer. He was in the very first campaign that I ever ran. I think I was 15 or 16. Wow. The first one that we did, we're hanging out over all the weekends. We were chugging Mountain Dew and doing like 30 and 40 hour sessions on a weekend. To be young, right? Yes. To be young. There's no way in the world I can do that now. Though I do see some people on Twitch doing marathon games and stuff. So maybe if we could ever schedule such a task, maybe we could do a marathon sometime and play for 8 hours. Ooh, I wonder who would watch. Wow. I wonder who would watch an 8-hour game of D&D. But we can definitely do it. So yeah, Coke back when Nintendo was thinking. Oh, you missed it though. You missed it. Levi just beat Ganon at the end of Legend of Zelda 1 to beat the game. His save state was about 8 hours. So. Dude, that was awesome. He said he's going to play a little Star Tropics next. So I'm super excited to see that, because that game is another Nintendo classic. Yeah, dude. He took it down. A subathon. That is what they're called, Wilhelm. A subathon.
There we go.
That is what they're called. we will have to we'll have to set up some special fun conditions if we do a subathon and we get subscribers, and that would be epic. Yes, Star Tropics, like what a game. You know, a lot of people, you know, amongst the Nintendo community, you know, it does get a lot of recognition, but you know, they really haven't made modern versions of it. It doesn't really have a franchise to it, so you can't really say like a lot of people in the modern time really kind of know about it because it's amazing. It's amazing. Bro, I feel that. The Sub-C. I will say anything about that. That is pretty epic. That is pretty epic.
Google, here I come.
Okay, that is a bubble
Somebody else
bobble.
posted
That is a bubble bobble code. That code will not work in Star Tropics. That is so good. And I would definitely love to stream some. Yeah, we were talking about Mario 3 too. I would love to stream some Super Mario 3. One of my very first streams I did on the channel as like a test stream was a warp whistle run. It was a fun game. It wasn't like super fast. It was like 20 minutes maybe, but it was super quick because you skipped like all the levels. But I love to do the 100% speed run, the 100% run through and play all the levels, except for maybe one or two. There's some awful ones. There's like a cloud that you can get that lets you skip a level in that game, and that is really clutch. In order to have to play a level that takes like 15 minutes to play. Forget that, y'all. Forget that. But we but we're definitely super excited to see him take down that epic NES challenge. But hey, if you don't want to do Star Tropics, I do have the SNES Classic over there if you want to do A Link to the Past.
Oh. Might just do Star Tropics first, though.
Nice. You already got a little bit into that game, so you cap it off if you can.
I'll beat A Link to the Past.
Oh. He's trying to beat all
Oracle Season.
Trying to beat all the Zelda
Minish
games.
Cap. And the remake.
About Link's Awakening, or
Link's
Awakening DX on the
Awakening,
Game Boy Color.
And then they did a remake on the Switch. For Link's. I'll let you play. I made
So I
Dungeons
guess that
Bound,
counts.
And
That
you
counts.
played
You
them.
beat the modern one, right?
Yeah, you saw me beat them.
Yeah, haven't you played Hyrule Warriors 2?
Hyrule Warriors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played the first one. I haven't played the second one. I played the first one on the Wii U. That was an awesome game. It's epic. Tearing through one of those Samurai Warrior or Dynasty Warrior kind of games, literally with like Link and just
my favorite was
mowing
the
down.
Great Fairy carrying Link in a bottle, and she just throws the bottle at enemies. And I was like, man, he's just like me for real.
Oh, Nightmare at Elm Street. Talking about some NES classics. That game is notoriously hard. The game is ridiculously hard. Probably not as hard though as Friday the 13th.
Oh my
Though
god.
if you understand how that game like to get through the days in that game instead of just running around, like you can do it quicker, but it's still a hard game.
That is a very hard
Jason
game.
is super hard in that game. Like it
Was
wasn't
that
fair.
Yeah, it's like a standstill picture, and then you choose an action and you go to the next frame. But like obviously your action, it's like an old school RPG game, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's,
it's nuts.
it's a big game back then for
it's-
the time too.
yeah.
Like, it always surprises me how they managed to do that so robustly on like 200 kilobytes of data.
Right.
I don't know. That's beyond me.
All
That's
that
beyond
coding,
me.
all that
That's
old
beyond
school
me.
coding, man.
And talk about Donkey Kong Country 2. What a game.
Oof.
It's another one that I could play through. The Game Boy Advance version had a rhythm game added to it. They added a rhythm game with like
with the bongos.
yeah, where the little arrows are going up the screen. You got to play a bunch of songs.
Mhm.
Dude, I definitely recommend that one. That's extra content. Extra content.
You can play Mortal Kombat with those.
Oh, with
What?
the bongos? Yeah.
God.
Bro,
I've seen people
try
do
playing
that.
Mortal Kombat with some Donkey Kongas. Is that a thing?
That sounds amazing.
I think
Yeah,
There's
like
a
that
person
one.
doing it on YouTube or something like that.
Oh, I've seen people also beat games with like the Guitar Hero controller.
Oh my
Y'all have y'all
goodness.
seen that? Have y'all seen that?
Seen the
for,
guys
Dark
do a
Souls.
flute. He has a flute and he's playing Call
Oh
of
yeah,
Duty.
each
What?
note.
There was a guy that
And
had
he
the
gets
potato.
kills. He gets
There
kills
was a guy
on
that
Call
had
of
a
Duty.
potato,
sick.
too.
I didn't see that.
A potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like this little
Yeah,
nose.
it's like
He would like
very
move it a
charged,
certain
like,
way.
everything.
Oh,
He
dude,
was
that's
famous
nuts.
for using really dumb stuff to
Yeah.
play games.
And some people can use their voice.
I
to
forget
play
his name.
games.
He's a
Mhm.
YouTuber.
Or like
The
clapping.
pitch.
Yeah, the
The
pitch.
pitch
yeah.
of their voice, yeah. That's just nuts.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
I have some catching up to do. We were watching pool videos before we started. Some epic billiards videos, stuff I'd never seen before. Just blows my whole mind. Next level pool players, killing it. Maybe someday. No, not for me. But let's do a quick round of introductions, and then we'll give a little bit of backstory, and then we'll go right into the action, or what's probably going to be the fishing. And we'll start around this side on this gentleman over here with the hat lurking behind him.
He's stalking.
He lurking. Oh, he's playing some Majora's Mask on the 3DS.
Welcome back.
Also, another great Nintendo game, Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.
Yeah, all the N64 Zelda games were absolute bangers. Just like set the bar for those kind of games for a long time. And everything the Zelda fans were looking for too. Everything they were looking for. It was perfect. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Link? I mean, Levi.
Link Bob. I'm Levi. I'm playing the Khajiit Rogue. His name is Sprinkles, named after my cat.
Oh, hell yeah.
We have booze in the chat. Why do we have booze in the chat?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Who was that? Who was that?
If you're watching and you have enough mil, you can also give Levi a minor setback. It's only 500 mil.
or a reroll shard.
Ooh. Let me take this moment then to
Can we
remind
say it
everyone
backwards?
that by watching, by hanging out with us, you can also build up mil coins. There should be an icon down there below your chat bar. You can definitely click on that, and it will give you a bunch of different options that you can do by spending those accrued mil or those accrued points. You can definitely give a lot of advantages out to our amazing cast and crew here, or you can with the Hand of Fate, you can make me reroll my dice. You can even give someone a minor setback. That is a thing that is in there, so you can definitely do that if you desire. He said 500 is a steal for minor setback. Is it? Is it?
That doesn't sound like a good comment.
Players are nervous.
Oh man, why did it block that out for me?
What's up?
They said, oh my god, like that.
This Khajiit doesn't really have wares so much as he steals wares if you have coin.
Oh.
Yes. You have coin. I have
Oh,
coin.
and that also reminds me, I did a Star Ocean 2 PS1. I started a run of that on Friday night. It was so awesome. I'm gonna see it one day this weekend, maybe Friday or not Saturday. I'm gonna continue on that. I'm doing a 100% pickpocket run, where from the beginning of the game, I'm gonna attempt to pickpocket every single NPC and every character in every town and city and village and every
Whoa.
the whole game. The whole game.
Let's
I've
go.
done 4. I'm keeping track of all the times I've missed, and I'm into the 4th village of the game. We're gonna steal everything.
all of it.
Inspired by Sprinkles, of course.
Let's go.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So if you're a Star Ocean 2 fan on the PS1, definitely check that out. And we'll have amongst the retro game runs that we'll be doing here, some PS1 classics too, because those are my absolute favorite. The best era of JRPGs, in my aged opinion. It's not Final Fantasy 16, but those games just hit different back then. There's so many good ones. So to the side. So you started out playing Majora's Mask but now he's playing it. Are y'all doing a tandem?
I was struggling with the circle path.
Oh yeah, it is a little
You have to use it.
Why I want to let you use that? Well, that's because it wants you to use that N64 stick.
I was trying to figure out how.
Do you have to use the mill rewards on the person's turn that you intended for? So no, with the majority of them, it gives them an item that they can use for the rest of the stream. For example, reroll shard or something like that. You call out the name of the character when you use it, and it will give them that item. A minor setback is one to where if you call out the player, it's the next dice roll that they roll that they get the penalty to. So, based on whose turn it is, or things like that, you can maybe try to line something up if you wanted to do it that way, or you can call them out at any time, and when it comes around to that person's turn, they'll get the negative to their first dice roll. So it would be either way. So once you get those points built up, there's an expensive one on that list too. It's night game ticket. At night here in this kind of game, instead of letting the characters get any sleep and rest whatsoever, we do in sleep, like sleepwalking mini games that they play in a far-flung dream realm. It's pretty awesome. We call it night games. It's a long-running tradition here on the RPG. So if you punch your night game ticket or you punch one for someone else, you can play along with us from the chat. You can play along in all the night games that we do, and if you have a character that's in another campaign, I will give their character the hookups. I'll give them the rewards. So when we have, Wilhelm and Bowser already punched their tickets for the next night game, and so there, I know that once you get in and you get a chance to play along with us, bro, it's so great, especially if you're playing, and then you can get loot for your character. That is the best. So, Slippy, tell us a little something about your bard. Say about how their characters kind of progressed through the campaign.
Slippy was just out there slipping, and he suddenly gained sentience. He slipped into a Zupendus crew. Now he's doing things those Zupendus dudes do.
Doing what Zupendus dudes do. The epic bard. He's been, singing and really doing all these crazy things in the game. I know that you like to jump into the water. I know I'll go back and watch. Jumps into the water to catch fish. Not afraid to swim alongside the shore while everyone else is walking along the beach. Found some treasure that way too, actually. So it's been paying off. But he's a slime bard. And it's funny, if you do go back and watch the second or third episode, I had set it up as a bit of an homage to the first Dragon Warrior game, because the first kind of monster that he fights outside his city is a slime, and it was that guy with the same look and everything. Wow. So but you just happened to be the one to win that time. Sent that guy packing. Oh, definitely sent him packing.
Had the Zupendus team with me. He took down the first friend I made, Drakey.
He did, and that was...
That's rough.
That one tugged a little bit, because I could tell that you needed revenge. And revenge you got.
He thought he felt good, because he just made slow, too. I showed him I was better at Tuesday.
Oh.
Had to let him know Tuesday in it.
Tuesday was the day of his demise, y'all. So we've, again, this is... it is D&D, but you will notice that we've got a Khajiit and we've got a slime. In this game, in this realm, you can be any character, you can be any class. There are no limits, there are no restrictions on that sort of thing. Everyone starts out at level 1, so it is a very, you start out with not a lot, but as you build up and your character gets stronger, it gets pretty exponential to where you get a lot of stuff you can do, and it is so much like D&D, but you don't know what you're going to get. That is that's the curve there. It's no book to look ahead in and check and see. It's just it's going to be how the dice roll. But we last week we had some. What does force the advantage do? Oh, it definitely lets you give somebody that advantage shard. So that means for the rest of the night they can use that advantage shard, and instead of rolling 1 dice for their action or their attack or whatever, they roll 2, and they get to keep the highest number.
Nice.
So pretty useful if you want to donate one of those. I know that would give somebody a huge leg up in a situation, being able to just roll 2 and pick 1. It doesn't seem like such a big deal, but when you don't normally get something like that, and then it comes along, it's pretty significant. So really a cool item to use. I definitely implore and encourage anyone to spend their mill and give everyone the advantage. How great would that be? And if you get a setback and advantage on that, then I guess it is -2 for both of them. But Slippy is forced the advantage. Very nice, very nice. So Slippy gets 1 advantage shard. It is in your inventory. It does have the Cinderella clause, so it does expire at exactly midnight. But up until that point, you can use it to get advantage on any dice roll that you take.
Are the reroll?
Thank you.
Are the reroll shards the same? They only last the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
They only last the night, y'all. We can't be banking up reroll shards.
I was gonna give Tibbets reroll. Well, so they still have the thing. So even if we trade them through the mirror, they'll still expire.
Yeah, they'll still expire.
Damn.
My plans are ruined.
Right, that mirror set makes it really, really, really fun to move items in between the characters and the campaigns. What a meta, what a kind of a rule-breaking item that we have in our RPG. It lets you transfer small items and money from one D&D character to another. Not unheard of, but it is one of those things where people are like, well, is he going to pass through his 30-foot dragon, or is he going to pass through his his attack raptor, or is he going to pass through his X-wing fighter, or is he going to pass through his whatever, what have you. So it's this, some things are okay, but you certainly can't get too crazy, and it's worked out pretty fun so far. So for those of you at the campaign that we play at the brewery, definitely make sure that if you have other characters in other campaigns that you use that mirror. Oh, I definitely encourage that to
Sprinkles.
forcing the advantage on Sprinkles.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Welcome back.
Let's go. Nice. That is an advantage shard for Sprinkles. Please use that at your discretion.
Definitely
All the best. Hooking up the players. Do we love to see it? Do we hate to see it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It seems the council is divided on that, y'all. We'll have to set up a poll later and see what everyone thinks about it.
helping you out.
Innocent bystanders will get voted against.
But of the new characters that we had last week, one, again, because we can have any character, any species, any class, anything that you can think of, as long as it can walk around and it can try to attack somebody, it can be a character. So tell us a little about your awesome character you've got lined up.
I am playing Shadow, the ghost Pokemon, aka Ghastly. He's got separated from all of his friends and happened to just find some new ones by chance. And yeah, little mischievous fella.
They say that it's the friends you make along the way. You gotta watch out, because I know that Slippy sometimes, because a key component of his character is that he can eat stuff, and if it's living animals, if it's living animals or living creatures, he can try to gain a skill off of it. So you gotta be careful.
He's not living. He's a ghost.
We got
Speaking of ghosts.
We got some chain reactions. Look, we speak about ghosts, and it does actually completely freeze the camera.
Oh, it did.
Oh no.
Look, ghosts are up to mischief tonight.
No.
Ghosts are up to real mischief.
It's frozen. It didn't even move.
Yeah. I can't believe you would do something like this.
That was a little ghastly.
Already starting.
Just out there causing mischief.
Watch, he's gonna unplug it and he's gonna plug it back up. And I'm
So there's
I'll do
a
it.
ring within a ring. It's like you just force it.
To do a thing and do a thing here. Please stand by.
Just push. And
Please stand by during these technical difficulties.
it's working.
There it goes.
Moon to here.
Let's go.
Hey.
And thank you, Twitch, for not making that awful. Because I had the weirdest time getting all this stuff to work today. New cameras, new orientations. We're definitely trying it all out for the first time on the stream tonight. So we definitely appreciate everyone's patience.
You're all over the camera.
Oh, yeah, let me
Perfect. Yeah.
blower. It does go down a little bit.
Lower.
You gotta crop the crotch.
More lower. All the lower? What's that? Well, I guess it's a 1. I guess it's gonna have to work.
Oh, we're working up.
So a Ghastly, we have, and he has this amazing Ghastly figure that he's gonna use. It's absolutely brilliant. Look at this thing. Vintage. It's a vintage Pokemon finger puppet.
98.
For all those Pokemon fans out there. A vintage 1998 Pokemon finger puppet, y'all. Amazing. Amazing.
Old as me.
And just wait until you see the Gengar. It's probably the coolest Gengar I've ever seen. By far.
Good.
By far. We'll show it off. This was cut from an amethyst or a quartz. It's solid, like it's solid. And the detail is cut right into the rock. You can see its face, and it is heavy. Like it is heavy. Perfectly. Look at that. The spikes on the back. Pretty
Awesome.
nice.
Awesome chunky boy.
He is a chunky boy.
Chunk.
So now, tell us about your awesome character.
My name's Peaches. And she is a human technomancer, so she pretty much has 2 different personalities. One, she likes to build stuff and be a little tinkerer and just kind of hang out. And then sometimes she just likes to break shit by Limp Bizkit. But either way, she's just always down to have a good time. So.
Nice.
That show, is it Destroy, Build, Destroy?
Ah.
Like that.
Yeah, Technomancy is such a cool ability. It gives you, like instant kind of use and function over all those little gadgets and stuff. What a super cool ability. Cannot wait to see the crazy stuff that gets built and made. I'm sure my mic is still sounding good. You can hear me out there in YouTube land.
Okay.
So their character graphics have been added onto the screen there at the bottom. So we do have Shadow the Ghastly. We have Peaches Human Technomancer, level 1. Though I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to hitting level 2 already. Based on all the awesome stuff that we did last time. Again, it is still uploaded on Twitch, so make sure you check that out. Also at YouTube.com. The link is in the description. So it's definitely awesome to have some sweet characters, especially with all the different possibilities now. When they get to fighting and when they get to battling and stuff, more characters usually means that your survival rate tends to go up a little bit. So always good for everyone. And you've got someone else there to take the lumps. And I know that from previous experience, when it comes to fighting, it's easy to get overwhelmed when you guys get grouped up. And they did a dungeon where they separated into like teams. So that'll be awesome when now that the groups can be a little more, y'all can back each other up big time and not have to make Egan do all the work.
Teamwork makes the dream work, and he was part of the Zupinda stream.
He was out there working hard, y'all. The NPC doing sweating and putting in the work, putting in the hours.
Got himself a class.
Yeah.
Zupinda Squire.
We treat the NPCs like gold around here. Promise. We wouldn't put them through anything that we wouldn't go through ourselves. Well,
You make them go
well, maybe not, but. Please tell us a little about Irving.
I am Irving. I'm a blind avian monk.
Just wrong.
He's got some wind abilities. He's got an urge to go fishing, definitely in this episode. So probably gonna have a full round of that. Looking forward to that. But other than that, I don't really know what's on his mind at this point. He's just along for Zupinda LLC's ride right now.
Welcome back.
He has been pretty stupendous so far. So, his character was the one that was gifted with the light of fate, which is helping to guide them, into what direction they have to go next on their journey. So, even if you get lost, even if you get turned around, you can definitely always use that to point your way. And so, and a monk on top of that, right? But because he specializes in both, hand to hand and weapon fighting, and he's a bird, so he's got hollow bones. He's super light, so he's able to jump and move pretty quickly. He swoops down on opponents, and he also floats like this, slowly swooping. I know there was an episode where you were up on top of like that mountain cathedral, right? And you just sort of hopped while everyone else was running along the bridge. You just like hopped off the top part, and you were just like just gliding alongside. Nice. Hey, have wings, we'll float. One last character introduction: the mighty Drum.
Drum, the Namekian dark mage, is in this contemplative, philosophical mood. He, just like his aviary friend over here, he's not really sure what we're going to go up against soon, what we're going to go against next. But he has two things on his mind. He wants to procure a ship somehow, some way, whether through hiring or stealing something. And the other thing, which is always on his mind, he wants to do some fishing.
So I do recall that at the end of the last session, someone from the caravan had secured passage and had required some money, some mill, that everyone did pay, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you definitely have passage on this ship here, because I've got all your characters lined up on the dock here, right where you ended at the end of the last session. And this world is called Argela. It is an ancient plane. It's one of the oldest in existence, and it's a pretty it is a lush world with magic and wonder. They found themselves already, traveling through thick forests and over expansive deserts and crossing oceans on boats and scuffling along beaches. They've traveled the world over already, over the plain of Argela, while they've been searching for information. What they found so far has been broken and pretty disjointed. We have forcing the advantage for Irving. We are going to go all the way around. I can feel it. Thank you. Irving, you get that advantage shard that you can use for the rest of the night to give yourself that sweet advantage.
Appreciate it.
That is fantastic. Thank you. So in the land of Argela, the place that they're at now, is a nice little port town nestled into the mountainside. On the sort of northern continent, far along on the northern shores. It's called Moffrin Port. It's a rustic little mountain village. You would call it a town because it definitely has a lot of buildings and shops. Some of those buildings nestled back into the mountainside as it scales up the sharp peaks behind it. It does have a wall around some of its perimeter, but a lot of it faces the northern shores of the continent itself, where there are boats coming and going all hours of the night and day. And right where we had left off last time, it was about the middle of the day, and the sun was beating down through almost no clouds over the salty, wet, splashing dockside, with that huge boat, the cargo passenger boat that you had agreed to get passage on, sort of listing there, floating on your right-hand side. On the left, and there's about a 30-foot span of water in between them. Dark, murky, foamy waves splashing against the wooden docks. It's another ship, another big of let's say it's another cargo ship that's on this side. As the whole dock at this time of the day, looking all the way down, maybe 50 yards, is all just boats lined up. with heavy traffic going to and from the boats, planks firmly down against the wood, with people unloading cargo and bustling things back up, deckhands and crewmen, wrangling ropes and knotting down sails and making repairs. There are vendors strewn all in between them, some carrying things over their body that they're selling, others pulling along a simple carts, or sitting alongside the docks selling fish and selling oars and selling whatever fresh fruit that they can find or that they've foraged on their travels. You can you also, again, as you breathe in that salty, humid summer air, it does remind you that it's nothing but that crystalline ocean out there in front of you, with boats littering off on the horizon here and there. It's and in the middle of the day, as Stupendous LLC had been checking their cargo and realigning with the members of the caravan that they'd befriended earlier in the campaign, Peaches and Shadow had really drifted up on them. They were chasing after Irving as he'd left a shop that they were all sort of shopping in. So they sort of thought something was interesting about him, and also the three of them, while they were in that tackle store, they were questioned by some city guards. So the whole thing was a little suspicious. But as the two of you drifted over to where those wagons were sitting out on the docks, and people were strewn around them, talking back and forth, checking the axles and feeding the horses and just maintaining everything. Back behind that, the high, tall, smooth wooden planks of the they were rounded logs of the outer wall of Moffrin Port Cities, right there, way over on this side, with all the docks stretching this way, and the village before you on this side. And there's a couple of scurvy little dockside taverns there. It's mostly houses and little warehouses butted up against this side. The new orientation is going to take a little time for me to get used to. I feel like Lars is sitting at the drum set right now. It's another another village, kind of like the ones that you had seen before as you've made this. It's been a pretty long travel for you, traveling along the desert with another sort of a caravan or group of people. You had chucked them loose when before you'd entered the city, but as you're watching, them fishing in the water, you're watching them sort of, there's slime over there that's playing music incredibly, and as you're watching them all sort of take stock of everything and do their fishing, they do sort of strike you both as interesting. Like they definitely stand out. You've heard of Namekians, of course, before, in books and in stories. But, to see one in person, even with the mask over his face, he's green complected, and you can see as he's moving, his cuffs pull back, revealing different colored skin.
Thank you.
Yes, forcing the advantage for Drum. Thank you, Amy. You are the best. That is an advantage shard for Drum, and that is 4. Is that 4 already? We have 4 of them turned in. Only Shadow and Peaches remain to have everyone have an advantage shard. Y'all are so awesome. Thank you so much. As the advantage is certainly spreading. And so when the turn sort of starts, it is the 6 of you lined out, all strewn along the dock. And the 4 of you had definitely checked to make sure everything in the caravan was secure. You'd already done your dice rolls, and you really talked to Riston, and you talked to Skalrin, did the blacksmithing stuff, donated to the caravan. So you did when the human technomancer introduced herself at the end of the last session. She definitely seemed calm and reserved and thoughtful and intelligent, and then like the snapping of fingers, she then became aggressive and was yelling volatilely about herself. So it definitely seemed like there was a strange duality there. But they also floating beside her, sometimes shifting out of view and sometimes shifting back in, the large, floating purple ghostly form of Shadow the Ghastly, there beside her, even attempting to do some fishing and was, eating some candy when they approached. So he definitely seems like a we'll say a sociable Ghastly. I say it that way. He seems to be, as he's floating around everyone, to want to try to talk and try to try to drift around and see how everyone's doing. Seems pretty friendly. So the three of you, we'll start with you then. Each of you roll a d6 as far as what happened in the fishing shop you were at.
A 4.
We have a 4. We have a 6. Roll it again. It was Irving, Peaches, and Shadow.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, because we went to the tackle shop.
Yeah, you're right.
A 6. Roll it again. And we have another force the advantage for Peaches from Amy. Thank you. That's
a 2.
Fantastic. That is advantage times 5 tonight.
Thanks, Amy. I don't know who you are. Appreciate it.
He's been watching us since the start. Been one of our original followers and a long-time watcher, and one of my oldest, dearest friends. So I definitely appreciate you hanging out with us and watching everything as it's played out from the very beginning. And thank you so much for forcing the advantage. And we definitely appreciate you. You were on the Star Ocean stream too, hanging out for a little bit, which I definitely appreciate that too, because that game is a little grindy, but super, super, super fun. And so there were some 6s rolled. So yeah, as soon as you get back and you told everyone that, hey, we talked to some soldiers and they just walked up to us and they were asking a lot of suspicious questions.
Shadow.
Forcing the advantage for Shadow.
Full circle.
That is full circle advantage. That is simply amazing. I will give everyone 1 rave point for everyone getting the advantage.
Oh, that puts me at 34 rave points. I got a rave skill.
Nice. Rave abilities has been unlocked. The rave points are the style points in this game. Once you get to a certain amount, your character gets a flashy, over-the-top rave ability that can tip the scales.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Your last raving skill was raving robbery, so now you get a Khajiit skill.
There's 6 of us and 6 of us go to plays. We roll 6s.
Epic.
Last one cost is, this one costs more. What a move.
Oh.
Raving cat scans?
Yes, the technique is called...
cat scan? Like,
did it.
I can check for tumors?
That's not
Wow.
special.
So it is just it is a room scanning or a scanning. It is like a surveying ability
5 AP.
that lets you use your cat-like eyes to focus on every detail in the room and space.
Do I get to look for treasure when I do that?
Yeah.
Can you look for enemy weak points?
Can I discover traps? This is like an inspection.
It's like a physical examination of the room, so you would be able to discover traps, and you would be able to discover treasure.
Both of those?
Yes.
Nice, okay. 5 AP, sheesh.
That's a big
It is a little pricey, but it is a raving cat scan, y'all.
Let's go.
The-
Do my eyes get all like raving colors?
The Khajiit, the Khajiit picked up the cat scan. You knew it was gonna happen. You knew it was gonna happen, y'all. So now that we've, you got your rave skill, everyone got that rave point, and everyone has the advantage. The 3 of them, in detail, went on about the soldiers that they had seen straggling about in the fishery shop, and how they seemed awfully suspicious of the the three of their comings and goings, it just seemed really out of the ordinary. And then at that point, Kling went up the ramp and secured the passage for everyone, and which everyone's paid the mill. And so really it's to the point now to where they could, they could leave at any time. But as it seems right now, looking across the thick, heavy groupings of people scattered out over the docks, and people winding in side streets and in the main street of Moffrin Port Village, nothing seems amiss or out of the ordinary. So we will go by agility first. Let me get an agility check.
I have an 8.
7. 5. I think me and Slippy both have 7.
Yeah, we both got 7.
Yeah, we'll go last.
8s and 7s. So the 8 will go first.
Do I have any idea about how long it's going to be before he secures that boat and we can leave?
Yeah, so that was at the end of the last episode. So he's already done it. Everyone already paid, and so you just all have to board the boat and give them the command, and they'll take off.
Okay. I'll just address the group and be like, "Are we done here? Because we can fish off the boat."
Yeah, I think that's what we was doing last time. I think we ended with boarding, but yeah.
So you want to everyone
I'm down.
getting on the boat?
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, my first turn is getting on the boat for sure.
So who else then, as you watch Irving walk up the somewhat steep, long wooden plank to get to board the boat? Does anyone else want to do the same?
I'll do the same.
I'll do the same.
Are you going to do the same, Slippy? Because you have the next time to do it.
I'm willing. Yo, you got any rope?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to borrow some rope. I'm gonna attach myself like as a buoy to the ship. Just run. I ain't getting it.
We need to do like either one of those like donut inflatables and just drag you along.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get on the ship.
Okay. And we're medium,
Nice.
so-
That's 1, 2, 3. Drum.
Yes.
You're getting on the ship as well.
Yep.
Can we use one of these sweet papercraft ships that Wilhelm has provided us?
Ooh.
Can we use one?
So they're medium.
Do we have room on the table as I keep jostling this camera, y'all? Do we have room to put the boat right here?
Yeah, we should have plenty of room.
Levi, will you please procure us one boat? All shout outs and kudos go to Will,
Or
go
use
to
it
Wilhelm
to,
for
hijack a
putting
bigger
together
ship.
these boats by hand and by donating them to
Then when the
this
flagship
campaign.
comes to
Definitely
check,
appreciate
you
it.
take that shit.
We use it for the campaign at the brewery too. When it's time to use ships, because we do have multiple ships. It's nice enough to make 3 ships. A trifecta of amazing paper crafted with the Scuffle Hill logo proudly emblazoned on it.
Let's go.
Welcome back.
So incredible. So make sure that you, if you're in town, that you're checking out Scuffle Hill. And we do the campaign there every Sunday. So come on over and have a couple of drinks and roll some dice with us at Scuffle Hill. And while we're getting the boat set up, you can take those off to put this on it. While we're getting the boat set up, I do definitely also do D&D every Wednesday. I've got a Wednesday, coming up here this week, and a Wednesday coming up next week at Marble Freaks. So we're definitely super excited to host some local public D&D sessions. So if you don't normally play, or if you do play and you're looking for a weekly campaign, you can always come on by. We can always come up and jump right in and hang out and play, roll some dice, and slay them again, because we be fighting. Oh, look at those emotes that Will Washer put in the.
Uh-oh.
Will was here. That's right. Some Gengars. That's pretty boss. So as everyone boards the ship, we'll say of the speed, Drum was the last one to go. Turning Sting and Klinger there with the caravan of wagons. They're getting ready to take off. They're going to be leaving Moffrin Port and heading south and west. After a week's travel, they'll end up at Shunrin Port. From there, you can send them to you wherever you are. You can issue that command. or you can have them go back to Moffrin Port, or what have you. But because they got off the ship, they're going to be heading, on the road to travel and make money and sell their wares and build a business. So this Kling is rubbing his hands together nervously. Sting's already, up around front, waving, at you, saying, "Oh, safe travels, masters. The guy, definitely. I hope you return with your lives and some treasure."
Same.
Ditto.
Wait, I'm also tell Skullrin to make a shield for Egan.
To craft up a shield.
Mm-hmm. With the logo that Rista made emblazoned upon the shield, and to use the funds from the.
Use the funds from donations.
Donations work. Also give like 150 mil to make it.
Nice. Oh, okay. Scalarin will roll a d6 to see if he can hit a bonus. Scalarin hits a 2, so he's able to make a wooden shield pretty quickly. It does have a band of thick metal and corded leather around the outside, but it is just thin planks of wood down the center with a little like a iron dot in the center. So it's a wooden shield.
Huh.
Whose drum is the last one aboard. Some deckhands pull up the ramp, and the ship. You're on the ship now as it's floating. You can feel it slowly to and fro. It's been a while since you've been on a ship. Roll a d6.
I'm a forward.
A 6. Roll it again. And a 5. So at stealing yourself, you resist the urge to let the swooning and the dizziness get to you. Planting your hands on the rail and staring out, trying to stare out back over the ocean behind you. Do you want the ship to remain moored, or are you ready for it to take off?
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, well, yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Nice. Giving the command to the captain. We'll say there's a captain. There's a captain with this figurine. I know that Wilhelm will definitely recognize it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And we'll say there are some deckhands that are strewn about the ship too. Let me just put 1, 2, 3. 3 deckhands with the captain. So as one of them, draws out this huge flowing sail, as another one over here, the rudderman, is doing something. The ship slowly. You can't. Well, I can see. I'll do it on this camera. This is the camera right here. This is the guy we're gonna have being the captain of the ship. That way. He's here to help. Though
maybe we should move the boat over here so that they can see it in this camera.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Or just sway the camera that way.
He said
a
I
little
know
bit.
that guy.
You definitely know that guy. You definitely know that guy. You definitely know that ship. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It shimmers in the light. It is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we encourage that. We encourage that. If you're gonna do it, roll a dice for it. And blow it up as good as you can.
At least let us get a little bit closer to the shore. I can't swim very well, being half bird. And
I hope we see another boat. I'll do it to them.
that's a good idea.
The ship drifting slowly away from the wooden docks as you watch the wood pull further and further away as you are leaving that stretch of the dockside. The ship slowly starts listing, turning around, and then suddenly a gust of wind coming off the mountainside swoops up inside of the sails, and the ship spins around backwards. The captain bellowing out orders. You watch the ship's sails tilt slowly as the ship wrenchingly sort of slows to a stop. With the wind behind it now, it pulls further and further away from Offern Port until you can, the people and the details there fade out of view as you find yourself drifting further out past the shoals into the ocean. Again, it's just the cawing of birds overhead, and it's just the sound of the whipping wind through the sails, and the spray of the sea, and the smell of salt in the air as you depart from Offern Port, heading due north.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Cue up the music, cue up the beach, the ocean music, and as far as that audio goes in chat, let me know if you can even hear the background audio. It should just be ocean sounds playing in the background. If you can't hear it, or if it's too loud, let me know. I can definitely turn it up or turn it down. You're supposed to be able to hear it just enough in the background, but you should still be able to hear us over it by far. As the ship begins its voyage, you do see other ships that are pulling into port. Some of them loading down, strapped and roped with heavy boxes and crates and supplies. Another one that you pass has goblins on it. It's a goblin-run sort of ship. You see dozens of them scurrying about on the deck, like 3 of them on a rope as they're swinging around dramatically as they're trying to get the ship into port.
Is the ship quality?
Being a goblin ship, I would have to say no.
Let's pass on.
How many masts does it have?
One.
One mast. How big is that mast?
It's smaller than yours. The whole ship is smaller.
It's like a sloop?
It's bigger than a sloop,
Okay.
but it wouldn't hold as much cargo as your ship. It's sort of somewhat in the middle with one sail.
Where is our ship?
Oh, well, I'm not sure what you would call. This is just a visual representation. I mean, it's a cargo ship. There's a big below decks area where there's storage rooms and some simple sleeping rooms. And this deck here is wide enough for you to have to take several steps to cross it.
Okay. Can I use my CAT scan?
Yes. Wants the CAT scan immediately.
Just to check it out. Doable.
Movie just acquired called Raving CAT Scan. We're gonna check it out and see what it does.
5 AP.
Jiminy crickets. Let's jump ahead
And then
there.
it's
Test
1d10.
her out.
Watch, I'm gonna roll a 1.
Is that like an X-ray?
I learned nothing.
Kind of.
Hits a 7.
Ooh, lucky 7.
So anyone who would be looking at Sprinkles would see his eyes glitter with that rainbow huing rave effect. Except for the black sort of lined slits where his, in the center of his eyes. They almost seem to give off a small bit of light as you just start looking around the deck of the ship. Little things do start lighting up around people, their legs and their waists. Little lights are showing up like, are those weapons? Are those treasure? As you're taking a moment to really look at everyone to see if they have anything worth stealing. And yeah, of the deckhands, they have simple things on them. If you were to look up at the captain, you would definitely see that there's a twinkling of something on his person against his silhouette. And as your eyes look to the stairs below decks, you can see a hue of items down below.
Oh, man.
Alright, so I might end up going downstairs, but do I see anything out in the ocean? If I look down, can I see the bottom of the ocean, see if there's anything shining down there?
It doesn't have that kind of range. It's meant to be a room or an area around you.
Okay.
So if you looked over the edge, it would have to be floating over the top 20 to 40 feet.
Okay. I didn't know how deep we were yet.
Yeah, you're out past the shallower parts of the ocean now. The city looking further and further more distantly off away from you as you're setting sail north from Offern Port.
Nice.
It's pretty deep at this point already. So as the ship, again, begins pushing off and away, we'll do another top of the turn order as far as, because I feel like some people do want to do a little fishing. So starting with Irving, what would you do for your action?
I'm gonna hook up one of those. I'm gonna hook
Just-
up
Yeah.
a chaser lure.
Just hold it. Kind of like
So there was some team fishing that we were able to do. So if you guys want to try to do some team fishing techniques,
Oh, do you want to jump in with my depth rod again?
He was trying to.
I was gonna do it for. I was gonna do it for her.
It don't matter.
Maybe
If you,
it's
if
okay.
you
Or
wanna,
whichever. It
no,
don't
if
matter.
you wanna, it don't matter.
Do you wanna?
Or you
I
can
mean,
do
we
it since
both
you.
could.
Oh, you want to double?
Or we
double
both could, so we could set a net out
I
there.
realized I'm missing a rating
Ooh,
skill.
bringing that
Rating
down.
That
Nice.
way,
And then I
to make
just
them
fish.
flash hard.
Yeah.
The skills.
Okay, I just fit.
But do we have a
Team
net?
skill, it's a rating skill.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
combined
sure
with
those both have
the
one.
rating drones.
Yeah,
Right.
we
But that didn't come from my rate points.
Remy, while he fishes, could we do an investigation check to look for a net for
Like a
them to
fishing
cast
net?
out?
That's what we were
Well,
both.
actually,
I have a cage.
Do we have a net in the caravan's items?
if you would have,
That's a 13.
you've already set sail.
Is there a fishing net below decks?
That's why I was
It's
gotta be a
asking for
cheap, easy
investigation
item.
roll.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was
Food.
gonna have each of them roll a d6 to quickly go below decks and search and see if there's any netting down there. So yeah, if you if Drum and Ghastly,
I'll just phase down through the.
as you're floating down below decks and you're walking alongside him, making heavy steps. Down the bottom there is boots and muddy, wet coats hanging there, and
Ooh.
pirate hats, not pirate hats, but like shipman hats, and so amongst them there may be some netting in the boxes there. So each of you roll a d6. Hits the 6. Hit a 3. Roll it again. A second 6, y'all. A second
Sir.
6.
Roll it again.
Is it time? Is it time? A 4.
Oh.
Woo, so close. But with a 6.
I like this new elevation. I'm like tossing.
Good. I that's awesome that you like it, because it is a little higher up than it usually is. We're hoping that gives a better chance at a view of some of the action here. That's really what it's all about, especially since everyone is battling each other now.
You can have
It's been pretty exciting, to say the least. So you rolled a 15 for the size of the fish. So let me roll a d10 for distance. Distance 7.
I'll sell you one for 15.
All right.
It's a chunky.
Are you ready to catch this fish?
I'm ready to give it a go. We'll see how the dice
How this
roll.
goes, y'all, is every time he beats me in a roll, the fish's distance decreases by 1. Every time the fish beats him, the fish's distance increases by 1. Don't forget you do have an advantage shard if you want to use it. Our fish starts out with a 6. He's going to come around and battle it. He's going to come around and hit it.
Oh shit, welcome back.
We'll trade spots.
Oh no! I rolled a 5, but I didn't knock
Oh, the
the 6.
fish distance goes up to 8.
Just slid it around. Please don't know.
No bonus.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, well, the fish's distance is set to 8. A 4. And a 5 goes down to 7. A 6.
Oh my gosh.
Battle.
Oh.
Couldn't beat it. It goes back up to an 8.
I keep missing.
This fish is putting up a mighty struggle. I flipped a 2. And a 3 to take it back down to 7. A 4. And a 5 to take it down to 6. A 5. Battled me into a 6.
Good
What
day.
is going on? That takes the fish back up to 7. A 5. Nice.
Oh god.
Oh.
You see him take a shot at that? You see him take a shot at it?
I missed it again.
Ooh, missed it again, and the distance goes back up to 8 as the fish struggles to get closer. Oh, a 1.
I ain't touching it.
Tied to 1. No way. That is a 3. Oh, and tied a 3.
You're going nowhere.
4 and a 1 as the fish's distance goes up to 9. A 2. And a 4. Take it back down to 8. 3. And a 6 to take it back down to 7. Roll it again. A second 6.
Oh.
This is for the catch and a skill.
Oh.
It is down to 6. Nice. Fish is drawing nearer and nearer. I got a 1. And a 2. That's enough. That is enough to bring it down to 5. A 5. Battled it into a 4, but
Still
hit a
rolled
1
a
to take the distance back up to 6. I know we're getting closing in on 10 turns. A 6 to take it down to 5. Roll it again. A 1. Hey, fish hits a 1, and you win with a 2. Barely, man, barely.
It's a hard fight.
A 6. Battled
Oh,
it.
good.
The dice lands on the ship. The dice lands on the ship.
It's causing havoc. It's like a cannonball.
Battled me into a 6, but tied a 6.
Oh,
Woo!
battle it.
No bonus for me.
No bonus for me. I rolled a 14.
A 2. And a 3 to take the distance down to 3. We'll say that was turn 10, so I'll take the distance down to another 2. I'm dropping my dice over here, y'all. This fish doesn't want to be caught. It's a 1. And a 2.
Oh
It
my
is down to
gosh.
1. The fish's distance is down to 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the harpoon. Can I borrow a D4?
Yeah.
Gets the
Oh,
harpoon.
wait, heavy harpoon.
Throws a heavy harpoon.
Oh,
Misses. Gets the harpoon. Misses.
Oh,
One more.
man.
Gets the harpoon number 2. Misses.
Oh my gosh.
This is for the catch. A 6. Battled it into a 2 and wins with a 5. What a hard-fought victory.
That was a
What
big
a
one.
hard-fought victory. Wow.
Oh, that was hard.
Incredible. What a battle, y'all. And that was just to catch one fish. So we'll say you caught a fire. Oh yeah, the size was a 15. Holy shoot, you see that? So this is gonna be a big fish.
15.
Yeah, you caught a jadic fire tuna.
What?
Nice.
That sounds crazy.
Fire tuna. I bet that thing's spicy.
This makes some squishies.
Let me eat it.
It's Kiskis.
Squishies and squishies.
Dude, if I let you eat it, you might get some firepower. Is that what
Wait, do I have to eat
Huh?
the whole fish? It's pretty big.
It is pretty big. Like if you wanted to cut a chunk of it off, you could try to consume it. You'd have to let.
Firepower? Firepower?
So
It's like eating
roll a
flour.
d6. Roll a d6 to hack a chunk off of the fish.
Do you want to do a team slice on the fish?
He rolled a
yes.
1.
Yes, wait, advantage.
Uses the advantage shot.
Yes.
Roll again and keep the higher number. A 4.
four,
A
yes.
4.
That's
Nice.
good.
I'm cool with that. Thank you.
I'm gonna use predate slash on the fish.
Nice. So you get a 4.
This 2 1d4s.
Hits a 4 and a 4.
Ooh.
Wait, that's a 4 and a 1, but you still tied a 4. So roll that 4 again. A 2 and a 1. Because you both roll 4s, then I'll give you the team attack. We'll call it. You were doing predate slash. But we'll call it predate fillet.
Ooh.
Oh, I get a predate move.
Yeah, it's 3 a day, and you roll a 1d8.
3 of that.
All they got to do is just roll the same number on that move, and that applies for battle too. When they're in battle and they want to roll to do team moves and team actions, if they hit that same number, then it's a high enough successful attack. Then you get a team skill based on what they were doing. In this case, he was trying to fillet the fish, and he was predate slashing it, so that's a good predate fillet. So using that in battle will allow you to both to do like the same kind of like lunging forward slashing attack with your weapons, like you're trying to cut a fish. Using it outside of battle, you can use it on fish to get more of the quantity. Like you take that fish, and you did get a big chunk of the fire tuna, but you still have it in your inventory because you successfully cut a chunk off and gave it to him.
I'm gonna immediately eat all. We'll split it halfway, and I'll eat my half immediately with predate glut.
Nice. Then roll for predate glutton.
It's a
What was
D8.
the cost on fillet?
It doesn't cost anything.
Oh.
It's a predate move, so that's a 4.
Ooh, a 4.
Nice, nice. So this gives you a skill called predate boil.
Ooh.
That's 5 a day. and it makes the air around you super, 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 super hot for a brief period of time. If you're in a small enough container of water, it will cause the water to boil.
Oh. Like a
Do
sauna.
you think that you could get another thing off of eating?
Yeah, do that in the spring to make a nice hot spring chill.
Predate Glutton on his share of the fire tuna as well.
I already gave it back to him to do that.
You can't get another ability off of it. You already got one off of this particular type of meat or fish.
Oh, okay.
You could keep it in your inventory or eat it or cook it at some future date or make sashimi out of it or you can...
I'm going to eat it just like a bird.
Nice. And immediately because you cut the thick fatty strip of the tuna off the side, I mean it's a delectable morsel and a tasty treat.
Nice.
I'm gonna use Predate Singe to cook the rest of the tuna, so we can give it hand it out.
So if you want to, that'll remove from your inventory if you want to keep using charges or parts of it. 'Cause you ate half, gave half back. So if you want to use any more of it, it would cost you the fish.
Oh, it's up to you, Caleb.
We'll see how much it's worth.
Oh yeah.
Could I ask the captain? Would the captain know about how much it could be worth with a chunk?
So you could ask him. But
Yeah.
at the beginning of next turn. Oh, thank you. Whose is this?
That was Brandy's. She left it in my car.
Sakura grape. That
That's
just sounds. That
good.
just
That's a
sounds
good one.
absolutely ridiculous, y'all. I'm about to taste the rainbow. Whew. Sakura grape. That's just a tasty vape.
Yeah. I left mine in the corner.
Shadow has this this sweet little milkshake cup that he uses for the vape. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Yeah, you put it right in there. It's a vape, y'all. It's a vape. I don't know if they have those. I don't know if they have those in New York. Y'all have to let me know if they have those in New York. But that's crazy, and it's such a tasty one too. It is.
I think it's like mango peach pineapple or something crazy. I don't know.
Like wow, amazing. So going to the next agility.
That'd be me and Slippy.
Roll for Ruffles.
Oh, Rochambeau.
Let's roll for it.
Oh, he wants to roll for it. He doesn't want to get. He doesn't want to get beat
Let's do Eterod.
by your hot rock.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, you won the first one.
A 5 and a 2 to win round 1.
Oh, a 6. I reroll my 6.
Sprinkles brings it back with the 6 and
Oh, it's heavy.
a 2. Battle into a 1.
Oh,
Battle into
he
a 1
deserved
to
it.
win with a 3.
Whoa.
All right, Slippy, go ahead and take your turn.
Dang.
Alright,
I was like, word, he's gonna battle my two.
Do you want to do the slip lure?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Or, wait, no, you did give me a rope. I forgot to.
I gave you a
What
rope.
kind was it?
I have nautical rope. I have one of those. I'd like to keep it, and then I just have a regular rope that we bought at one of the shops.
Oh, if you took your action to already fish this turn, you won't be able to assist with slip lure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Can I borrow that?
Is there an anchor on the boat or something I could anchor to the boat and also tie myself to?
There's like a little railing you could tie to.
You either tie a rope to the railing or.
To the mast.
Yeah, I would say if you have them drop the anchor, then it will cause the ship to not sail the same.
Oh no, but is the anchor like on the ship so I can like tie it to the anchor?
Yeah.
something else I should
Back
say?
on the back of the ship, against the back corner back there, coiled up with thick, heavy rope, is the anchor itself. It's running through a wooden set spool there at the bottom of the deck. It's meant to just be thrown over, and you'd watch the coil of rope unravel as it drops.
I'll I'll cast Sweeping Score, and then 2 AP, 1d10.
That is a 1.
Good job.
Well, instead of a sweeping score, unless you want to use another move, instead of a sweeping score, you pulling out your leer, you throw them once, thrum, and then hop up over deck like you're going to thrust yourself into the water.
I'm gonna use predate dive at this point.
Go ahead. Predate dive is a 3.
3.
Stepping over the edge of the water with the rope secured around your waist. As soon as you hit the sort of rough, choppy waters, it's that boom, instant sensation of dark, cold water all around you. The bubbles and the brine sort of break past you with your eyes semi-open, and as you plunge into the ocean itself. The first 5-10 feet, instantly, as you feel yourself sinking. Turning to dive a little bit, the ship is almost, it's hazy now and slowly forming out of view above you. So you drift further and further below the waves.
I'll now cast Radiant for 4 MP.
Okay.
1d10.
An 8. Nice. So to everyone else who was watching over the railing, just watching him step cleanly over the edge, sploosh, into the ocean below. After a few moments, then you do see a bit of a hue of white light out from below the water. He's down there pretty far, but as he's glowing brighter and brighter and brighter, it looks like someone literally has a lantern down there that they're just blaring. Even as he's 10-15 feet deep, you can still see the white, sort of distorted, pale glow of his light from down there. And looking around, you see, dirt and silt rising up around you here and there as you plunge deeper and deeper into the ocean. You don't even see the bottom below you, but you're encased in this white nimbus of light.
I'll swim to the bottom of the ship, or the side breaking the water of the ship, and then just attach myself to it to ride along.
The ship moving ahead at a pretty good pace, so I'm not sure if you could swim underwater fast enough to keep up with it. You could pull yourself back along the rope.
I'll use a predate dart.
Ah, nice. Go ahead. A 7. Nice.
Hey.
So you jettison yourself forward in the water, the rope trickling behind you. It doesn't take you long, sort of dolphin scurrying through the cold, deep ocean until you see the ship looming up behind you. Roll a d6 to reach out and try to affix yourself to it.
Oh, my God.
Let's go. A 4.
Nice.
So, getting a hand along it, it slips and slides along the grassy, mossy bottom part of it. It does slip. But with your you have to drawing your dagger out, sticking it, and it a little bit before it gets in between two of the planks of wood, and you come to a jerk stop. Feeling the water pushing past you as the ship is moving, you feel like about half of your breath is gone. But you're sort of dangling along there beside the ship while it's just traveling along.
I'll stay there as long as I can while everyone else fishes for another turn. I'll think of what I can do.
Nice. That will take it to Springle's turn.
Alright, going to... Can I borrow that, what was that rod called that lets you roll the d20?
The depth rope.
Is that one that Caleb has? That Irving has?
What was your fishing rod? What was it called?
Oh, depth rod.
Can I use it?
Yep. It's a D20.
A D20 on
Wow.
fish size.
Alright, let's go.
A 3.
Can I use that advantage? Force the
Uses the force the advantage
Yay.
shot. Wants to force the advantage on that roll.
It hits you too.
And hits a 5.
Bigger than what you just
I guess so.
That is a...
Doesn't it get plus something?
if you use a lure, it would have.
Okay.
So that fish size is 5, which means I'll roll a d6 for the fish distance. Fish distance is 6.
Of course it is.
Why would it be any other number except for a 6, right? Why would it be anything
Why
else?
not?
So that is the fish size. That is the fish distance. All right. Do you think you can catch this fish?
Yeah, go ahead.
I start out with a 3. And a 6. Okay.
Wow, out the
Okay.
gate.
Causing the earth to
Roll
shake
it
here.
again.
It's a 1. This distance goes down to 5. I hit a 2. And a 5 to take the distance down to 4. It's on a run here. A 1.
Wow.
And a 6 down to 3, down to 2. Roll it again.
Can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. A 3. And a 3 to tie. A 2.
Oh.
Battleman hit the 6. That takes it down to 1 and catches it. Roll the bonus.
Oh!
Is it time? Is it time? Let's go! 3 6s. That is
There
what
it
it's
is.
all about. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that so we can have that. We can have that in the log. That is simply incredible. Hit the triple sixes. You had already caught the fish anyways, but upon your success, I will give you a rave point, and you earn a fishing skill.
Nice.
Let's go.
That is how that is how it is supposed to go. Everyone, drop some D6s in the chat. We're gonna celebrate that. So we got those sweet triple sixes. This is what do I always grabbing the drink. Wow.
That's only like my second fishing
I
skill.
love how the clip editor is called Clip
What's that?
Arena.
I had heavy
Is that what
harpoon,
it
which
is?
upgraded from regular harpoon.
Man, that's so crazy. So I'm going to give you. Oh, you put the little fish icon up next to your.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, do you go?
That's pretty
He's
good.
got it.
I'm trying to keep it moving.
The star's all so good.
Let's go. That is so great.
You want me to keep that in a clip?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing.
Put it in the D&D. D&D.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. So that is a once-a-day fishing skill called 6 swipe. When the fish gets to exactly 6, I'll give you a D6 roll to take off the fish's distance.
Nice.
Ooh,
Let's go.
get that 6.
What type of fish was it?
Wait, on a 5, we'll call that a.
Was the one I already caught?
Yeah. Well, it was a. We'll call it a jaded horseshoe crab.
Ooh,
A
that's
jaded
cool.
horseshoe crab?
Yeah.
Nice.
Crap tonight, boy.
Y'all catching all the good
Leave us
seafood.
got crabs.
Wanna make some crab legs.
I'm just picturing like the old green see-through Game Boys, like the
Oh.
Game Boy colors that you can see through those.
Yeah, dude, those were the best. The best.
Yeah, I had the purple one.
They make the
purple
N64s like that too,
Yeah.
with the translucent shells on
And
them.
the controllers.
Oh man, yeah.
This looks
Anyone
so
who
good.
has those, they're sitting on the good stuff right there.
It looks so good.
I feel like that's what the crab looks like, but you see through its shell, just like the Game Boy.
Just see it.
Yeah.
Stuff just pulsing.
Alright, that was a great turn.
An impressive catch, an impressive turn.
Let's go.
Nice. So now we come to the next turn. Is that Drum's turn?
Yes.
Go ahead.
5.
Oh, I gotta stop jostling this camera, y'all. Are you playing drums?
Yeah, I would like to use my Raging River Rod, which gets a +1 to all of my casts.
You got it.
Which D
It
should I
says
use?
D12. That is a 11 plus 1. That is a
Dirty
12. That is a 12.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Big number.
I will spin the 8 for the distance. The distance is 4.
Ooh, not bad.
Nice. Are you ready to try and catch this fish?
I'm ready.
And you know, when they're putting their casting the rods into the water, they're leaving there for 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes. But it seems that just within any course of time. It doesn't take long before the rod suddenly bends in your grasp, and you find yourself lurching forwards as this huge fish must be on the other line. Well, that's a 5. And a 2 takes the distance up to 5. A 2. And a 2 to tie. Woo, Tuesday in it. A 5 and a 1. That takes the distance up to 6.
Oh.
Well,
No, it doesn't.
I'm sure it is.
Oh,
That fish definitely doesn't want to be caught, y'all.
Put it down.
I think Remy could get there.
Is it
Oh,
in my
it's right
in my
there.
range? Oh, okay, nice. I'm trying to jostle this camera anymore. Nice, recovered. All right, I hit a 1 and a 2 to take the distance down to 5. A 2 and a 4, distance down to 4.
That's what it
Nice.
is. I need to touch it. I got
3 and a 6
Oh,
down to
yeah.
3.
Roll
Roll
it
it again.
And also, I'd like to use heave where my first 6 gets a +1.
Nice, so that takes it down to 2.
Oh.
He went off the rail slide, y'all. Went off the rail slide. A 1 and a 4 to take it down to 1. All right, it's a 1, y'all. It's a
Did y'all
1.
get your harpoons out there?
Oh yeah.
Heavy harpoon.
Heavy harpoon misses.
Oh, we're gonna go for a long shot.
He's casting it. He's casting it.
Whoa!
A 3, not a 4. Has
Roll
to be
it
a
again.
4.
That thing flew. Oh.
And a 1. All right, this is for the catch. Fish is a 2, and you hit a 1. Oh no! Distance goes back up to
He
2.
touched it, so whatever happens.
Oh, yeah, you're
A
right.
4 and a 1.
Oh,
Distance
wow.
goes back
Yeah,
out
right,
to
thank
3.
No.
Oh, here we go.
A 1 and a 6 down to 2 and down to 1. This bonus is for the catch.
Oh.
Oh, it hit Irving. The dice hit Irving.
No. I've got
A 5.
hard bones,
This
man.
is for the catch, sir. For the catch. I hit a 6.
Oh.
Oh, he's gonna battle it. Changed it to a
Oh.
5, but could not win with a 2. Distance goes back up to 2. A 5 and a 4. Distance goes up to 3. Oh no, fish is gonna get away. A 2 and a 6.
6.
That takes it out of 2 and down again to 1. This is for, the bonus is for the catch.
3.
This is for the catch. A 3.
3.
Oh.
Whew. I touched it last.
Oh no. A 4.
Oh, the 4 for the catch.
Nice.
Beautiful.
He's out.
Beautiful.
That was
beautiful.
fun.
Whew. Wow.
Good stuff. Uh-oh.
So we're gonna say you caught
Redeemed Hand
a
of Fate. Will Redeemed Hand of Fate at Irving.
Irvin.
the Hand of Fate. Oh no. That means that Irving has to re-roll that last roll again.
No.
Hold on. Hold on. You're still fishing? Oh wait, that was drum. That was drum.
No,
He said to Irving.
Oh.
He
did
called.
say
He
at
called.
Irving.
Oh, that is Irving.
call?
Oh, so the fish is caught, and what that means is that when Irving rolls his next dice
Oh,
roll,
it's next.
he has whatever that first roll is, he has to re-roll it. Wow,
I
what
still
a
appreciate it.
what a cash in!
man.
What a cash in! Whew. So with a 12, I'll say you caught a you called it a Jadic Ocean Eel.
Ooh. Eel is so good.
Mm.
The best.
Y'all catching the yummy stuff.
Yes.
Also Unagi. That is what's an eel sauce.
Get me hungry looking for that seafood.
What happened to
It's a
All
seafood
those-
buffet right now.
Those ones where they come in the big old bags and it's all in there and you just
Oh,
take it and you just dump it out on the table. Oh.
Let's go. Gonna have to get this local seafood place. Well, maybe not them. We'll have to get a seafood place to sponsor us so we can get a hold of some seafood.
Mukbang.
Hey, I'll definitely promote a local restaurant if they want to come and bring by a little something.
Yeah.
D&D mukbang? What?
What?
Call me, and I will put it together.
We will make it.
We will make it happen. So yeah, you caught that fish, and whose turn is agility 4?
We both are.
Yeah, I guess we'll both do it at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the hook and just try to go down further.
So you're affixing onto the end of the line. You're going to, let Peaches cast you out over into the water.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So each of you roll a d6 for that and see if you can match it. A 3. And a 2.
Darn.
Are you using the depth rod?
Yeah. You can use your fishing rod, or you can borrow someone else's if they would let you.
I can. Yeah. We can do that.
Throw me with the depth rod.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The death rod.
Maybe a stone lure too, and that's a +2.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Nice. So that's a 1d20 plus 2, and Shadow is dangling at the end of the hook.
I'm just holding on.
Just making the
Yeah, I'm just
making
like,
the lure have extra.
A 14 plus 2.
16.
That is a
That's
16.
Oh, it's gonna try and eat.
Well, we can see that. That is a 16 for fish size. Which is I will roll the d12, the d10 for the fish distance. Fish distance is 7.
Oh, girl, she out there.
Am I doing a D8 or what?
A d6 for the
D6,
actual
okay,
battle.
gotcha.
All right. So starting out, that's a 4 on a 5. The distance goes out to 8.
I'm gonna have to change my dice.
A 5 and a 6. Down to 7 and roll it again.
A 2.
2. A 4.
Oh.
Battle me into a 6!
I
Battle me
didn't
into
mean
a
to.
6 and hit the 5!
Oh,
Distance
man.
goes up to 8. I get a bonus roll. A second 6.
Oh no!
Oh, don't let it get away.
If I hit one more 6 on you, this fish will get away.
I want to use confuse on it.
So you're at the end of the line.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to use confuse on it to.
So
hopefully
as you
get,
hit
like,
the
this
water
thing.
and you started sinking for the first couple of moments, you did focus your intent and will your mind to make your body as solid as possible. Though you feel occasionally that moment where like you're fading out, but when you fade in, it's ice cold, dark, sort of the oppressive pressure of the ocean all around you as you're sinking slower and slower. The sunlight, drifting away. As you get a slow look around, you do see that familiar hue of white light coming off the other end of the ship from a radiant spell.
yeah. I was about to say.
You're on one side of the boat and you're on the other, and so going down, he can look over and just see it out there pulsing like a white light. But then, as you were looking that way, you felt yourself something hit you. As the whole rope gets stung to the side, you felt something nibbling at the side of your body and then bite in. Though you don't take any damage, you can hardly get your body around in time before whatever it is just thrashing you around, whipping you side to side.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely instantly cast confuse on it.
Go ahead. Confuse,
There's a D6.
a minor psychic ability
Will
possessed
try
by
and
the
give
Ghastly.
me the hand of fate to reroll the harpoon
Oh.
Oh. Hits the 6.
Roll it. Give me
So what we'll do
And a 1.
is we'll have to say, we'll have to make sure that we keep track of the right advantage, because that would have been probably changed the course of that a lot, because the fish did sort of struggle a little bit there at the end after he tried to heave the harpoon. But we'll make sure that we give a second when someone uses an item, that we try to get in there and
Popping that new camera.
Yeah, boy. The beans.
nice. Definitely appreciate that. So the psychic energy that boom pulses out from you in one bubble. Instantly, the fish's grip, its teeth relax somewhat on you. It's still sort of bit in, but if you were to look over into its eyes, you could see that it's staring off into nothing lazily, momentarily confused. So that will, I'll say, the fish draws in 1 and then 1 to make it 6, and I'll give it a -1 for like its next 3 rolls against you.
That's why you
So
put
that's
me
a
under
3
the-
minus 1. 2 on a 4, that takes down to 5. That is a 5 minus 1, that's a 4. And a 5 to take it down to a 4. And the last one that gets a -1 is a 2 minus 1, that's a 1. And a 6, down to 3, down to 2, roll it again. That is a 3. So now as your turn comes around again, the fish, seeing some lucidity enter its body again, starts thrashing again, and you feel its teeth tightening back down your body. This time you do take 1 damage.
Okay. I'll take that. I didn't save. I was gonna see if I could wait until it was kind of loose and phase out of its grasp, but that's I didn't save. I will.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna just poke it in its eye, or like attack its eye, just like normal attack.
Just want to punch it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Roll d6. 3 and a 4. You do with your body sort of try to butt up against it, slam up against the side of it to try to get it to relax its grip. You bump, smacking your head with it once, and then reeling back, you slam the top half of your body into it again. But its body is thick and sturdy, and as you can get a better look at it, it does appear to be like a big dark green mackerel. I mean, like a foot and a half high and like 3 feet long.
Boy, strong.
That's a big thing.
All right, roll. Its distance is set to 2. I rolled a 6.
Oh,
And a 6 to tie. No bonus. No bonus. Nice. I roll a 1. And a 3. That takes it down to 1. This is for the catch. Do you want anyone to roll any assisting rolls?
Oh,
Heavy harpoon. Oh, another harpoon, y'all.
A
Harpoon
5.
misses.
doesn't work. It has to be a
I don't
4 or
even know where that
6.
Where did my fork go?
I think it went in his dad. Yeah,
It went inside my. It went in my dice tray.
Nice. Let's go.
What a harpoon.
Oh, this isn't even mine.
Well then you need. Then it landed.
didn't it?
It landed on the other side of the ship, and I gave you the wrong one.
3.
Misses with a harpoon,
Dang. Oh.
and casts another one.
Oh.
Woo! Flips it out, and misses with the harpoon.
Man,
All harpoons have missed. This is. Yeah, I think it is. This one is for the catch. A 6.
Oh, battle it.
Oh.
No.
Battled into a 2 and wins with the 5. Let's go. What a catch.
As she pulls it up, I'm just
Reeling the fish, reeling
What
it,
the hell's going on?
lying bent as you're drawing it up out of the water. You do see shadow at the end of it, with the massive, deep jaded mackerel flailing about at the bottom of the hook. It's still got some teeth in his posterior.
Boy. I had a real
He said he had a reroll ready. But you are a master fish.
What a great catch! And that is a jadic deep sea mackerel.
Wow.
The water sort of dripping off of you as Peaches sort of unhooks the hook and the fish from your tail end.
There's an arrow in your butt.
I just keep assaulting it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just constantly
kicking
just
the fish
punching
while
it.
he's down,
Yeah.
slamming
making,
into it over and over again. Say, gassed. But because you both sort of took those turns at the same time.
Whole group of masturbators here.
Yep.
That is us.
Hey.
Once
the
you
shoe
reach a certain
fits.
level of mastery, you can go ahead and call yourself a master baiter in this game. 'Cause every fish every time you cast the rod out, you're probably going to catch a fish. So that is mastery. That is mastery.
That is true.
Y'all have mastered it, and everyone got a chance to take a turn. You were still drifting along, stuck into the underbelly of the ship. And you weren't able to see the nefarious catch made by Peaches because he doesn't exude any light the same way that you do.
You missed it, brother.
But as you're pulsing off of the edge of the ship, the light just radiating out from you, you do start to see small little schools of fish scuttle into view, a smaller jadic salmon, and then let's see while you're perched down there, a 3. Slowly into view comes what looks like a turtle. It's like a jadic turtle. This one has a big, pronounced head and a large, sort of a mossy green shell. And as it draws closer to you, the school of fish that were in the way dart quickly out one way or the other. You notice that it's got its mouth wide open. Is it a snapper?
We're gonna find out. I try to mold my body small enough to be eaten by the turtle.
Your mass can only reach a certain minimum amount. Like if you turn into things, there'll always be a certain density in mass. But you can try to mold to make yourself as small as you can.
I'll attempt that. I'll use a mold to make myself
There you go,
extremely
nice.
biteable.
A 6. You feel yourself shriveling up, shrinking inside your armor. As you do draw yourself into a ball, sort of trying to get smaller and smaller. With the size of this turtle, he'd have to take chunks out of you still. But he does loom closer enough now. We're peeking out from behind a slot of your armor. You can see him reeling in, his mouth getting wider open. He's about to take a chunk. He's about to take a bite.
I'll use a predate stockpile.
Okay. Alright, then as he sort of bites into your, bites grazing over the armor a little bit, you take 1 damage. And you do stockpile 1. It bubbles and Brian sort of splashed around from the area as he lurched up towards you where you were glowing and took a snap right out of you. And where the mark is, the graze in the side of your body, you can see some of your slime-like blood coming out, intermingling with the water. Go ahead.
I'm still at the surface though?
No, you're like a couple feet below the surface. It's sort of the bottom curvature of the ship, glowing.
Okay. I'll release the dagger and then use surface surprise to break the surface.
Okay.
Surface surprise. D8, 1 in. 7.
Nice.
7, nice. So as soon as you relax your grip on the dagger, stuck into the underbelly of the ship, you feel the water instantly pushing you back and away. As soon as it does, it's that G of surge as you feel yourself rushing 5, 6, 8 feet until you spring out the top of the water. Sploosh! The rope still around your waist. As you sploosh, the rope fluttering underneath you, 5, 8, 10 feet above the water. You get a point where you're almost level and even for a moment with the ship itself. Looking out over everyone while they're looking over fish that they've caught.
That's when you take the shot.
You want me to shoot it?
Yeah.
Do I have an action?
Yeah, as you were rummaging through your character's gear and checking your items, suddenly you hear a sploosh, and there's a spray of briny seawater as out ahead of you is floating over the water and over the railing of the ship like this, with a spray of seawater around him is Slippy, with a big snapping turtle clamped onto the side of his body. They're both just fluttering out of the water.
You want me to shoot with an arrow?
Yeah, go ahead. Like
Should I use the
one.
shock one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you have an earth-based weapon.
I don't.
Okay.
I have a bow of tidal arrows, which is water. But
get them.
my arc flash bow, I can use that.
That'll work.
All right.
Hmm.
Can I take a
You
shot?
wouldn't
with
wanna
the
miss.
arc-
I can do that and then
You wouldn't
try
wanna
to-
miss.
I can do
But-
that and try to zap it at the same time.
But it is close enough. If you want to hurl the D4, I'll let you hit it on the 4, but if you hit a 1, you may hit Slippy.
I mean, it's worth
I have
risk.
heavy harpoon
YOLO.
I could use too. Do the harpoons have rope tied to them?
No, it's really meant to slay the fish.
Okay.
A 3.
Not a 1.
As you're sailing in the air, again, the railing just a foot below you, as you're in that beginning descent back into the water. A harpoon streaks past you.
Hand of Fate. I've
Use-
got to reroll.
Oh,
that
yes.
throw.
Oh, he has
Hand
to
of fate.
reroll.
He has to use the hand of fate to re-roll that, y'all. So his fate has been changed. A 2.
Still
Instead of going over, it goes just under. Missing by scant inches.
Cool.
Do you want me to use heavy harpoon instead of using my bow?
Nah, I use the bow. We're trying to kill it.
Alright. I'll use one of my fine crafted arrows. Oh.
A 1.
Yikes.
Surprised, you quickly draw your arrow and line up the shot. Thump. This one goes, again, high,
Oh, you
arcing
got
over
advantage,
both of them.
okay.
As they just started to dip in their arc, splashing up out of the water. Arrow went just over. And what was the name of the bow that you used?
The arc flash.
And it lets out a bright flash of light in front of it, as along with the arrow, lightning and lightning energy and lightning magic streaks out from the arrowhead in a crackling motion. It did go just over the two top of you, so you and the turtle each take damage. Oof, you and the turtle each take 2 damage. Which is enough, you feel the jolt of electricity sort of pound into you, just from the trickling of the arrow as it passed over you. The turtle, again, it sound as it crackles over its shell, and as the two of you drop back down to the water, you make a sploosh, and it lands shell first with a psh floating there, not moving.
Oh,
Good day.
got taste.
You're welcome. I rolled the lowest possible number and it still worked.
It's a good bow.
I'll use the
Good bow.
Jade Prince Crown to summon the dolphins to send it back to the ship, and I'll stay attached to the boat.
So taking another deep breath, you've been under for a while, a couple of minutes. You go ahead and roll a d6 for the crown. A 6.
Wow.
Roll it again. Ooh, a 5. So he does have a magical crown in his possession that when he focuses intently on it, it draws a small pod of dolphins from somewhere out in the ocean. So you only have to focus on it for a moment before you can already hear their distant clicks and chirps. So as you're bobbing there, a foot above the roiling surface of the ocean, the boat is already starting to pull ahead. You're still tied around it, so at some point, though, it will start to drag you again. But after a few moments, the ship pulling further ahead, dolphin fins break the waves around you. A blowhole spurting water out in front of you, clicking and chirping. You point over towards the turtle. The fins submerge, and the turtle you find still with its legs starting to move and kick a little bit. You see it just gliding, being pushed along the surface of the water.
I guess whoever's up next can get the turtle.
That's Irving. Roll a d6.
I'm trying to
Ooh, it landed on the deck of the ship.
That was fun.
A 5.
Nice.
Let's go.
Lunging out over the railing with one hand on it. You reach down as far as you can, though you'd have to almost hop over the side and climb down over a rope. The dolphins, though, playfully, all of a sudden the turtle, boof, comes flying up out of the water,
Oh my
as if
Lord.
knocked from underneath. So with a 5, you, with your hand dangling down, you did try to reach out and grab whatever part of the turtle that you could. Grabbing it by around its neck firmly. As soon as you go to hoist it slowly back aboard, you take 1 damage as it gets a snap at your wrist.
Does it let go?
It was only like a bit of a snap, so it didn't sink in. But as you drop it, shell first onto the deck of the ship, it slowly tries to reorient itself. Its mouth snapping and its legs sort of kicking and its arms darting around to and fro. It's still on its shell. But if you want to put that in your inventory, or it's there on the ship now, it is a Jadic snapping turtle.
Oh, you instantly go boop,
It's
and
hard.
it dies.
Jadic snapping turtle.
Yeah, do I put it in my inventory so it dies, or do we try to put it in a barrel?
You can have it. I mean, wait. Did your arrow show it?
I mean, it
I think
paralyzed it. It's still
still moving.
alive.
Yeah,
It's alive.
I would just put it in your inventory and like sell it or something.
Yeah, you can keep it.
Nice. I don't think I have anything to keep it in other than my
You
inventory.
could probably do something cool with the shell, that's all I'm saying.
Just keep him in a shell.
Could be a teenage mutant.
Yeah. Teenage
Ninja bird.
It is a Jadic shell too, so it has those familiar green streaks of jade going throughout the whole back of the shell.
It's a Master Roshi turtle shell. Turtle training.
And it was pretty big around. It was big around, so it's a big turtle.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it in my inventory. It's dead now.
Oh, yikes.
It is one Jadic snapping turtle. And so, as everyone, is continuing to fish and talk and, about where they're headed, or talking with people, with the deckhands maybe, about any rumors they heard. Some of you may want to talk to the captain or go below decks. The ship continues on for the next couple of hours this way, with the sun, which was high overhead when you first started. It's humid sun, blistering rays kind of drawn on you, and you had to take the masks off after a while and take your heavier cloaks off. because it is a humid day. Even with the sun slowly drifting off, getting closer to the horizon, it's still sweat forming up on your brow, and you can feel it sticking your shirt to your chest as you're fishing and sort of looking out over the expansive ocean. You do see a boat here or there on the distant horizon, but there seems to be nothing really around you as far as other ships or other people. Everyone roll a perception check. Who has the highest intelligence?
You got me.
I got
I'm just a
four.
4.
Me was 7.
7. Nice. So I'll give you a +1.
Epic.
That is a 5 + 1. That is a 6.
Let's go.
Another 6.
Nice.
Oh, here, everybody else roll. I'll try and battle it.
Where's my D6?
It's a 2.
A 2.
Oh my
A swing and a
God.
miss. A 1.
Him a 1.
Battled into a 5.
Oh!
Into a 6.
I'm right
She's
here.
got a 4.
Oh, dang.
Threw it back to a 3.
Oh!
What a ricochet.
A 6. That is 3 6s.
Thank you, thank you.
So
Roll it again. Yeah, they have to
There you
reroll.
go. I got you.
I'm gonna be able to get more 6s.
battles it into a 4 and hits a 2. Battles it
Oh no.
and hits a
We
4.
got the 4.
So what 3 players got 6s? Yeah,
I got a 5. Did I get a plus? No, I didn't.
I got a
So-
36.
So
I got
yeah,
a 6
so you got a
out of
6.
5.
So everyone who got 6s there, I'll give you a team skill called Scan the Horizon.
Ooh. You go, girl.
In the horizon.
Make that a 3 a day with a 1d6. So, scanning the horizon, Drum is the first one to notice that far off in the northern distance, it looks like the faint grayish tinge of clouds way out ahead, just off the horizon by a couple of inches. So it does seem to be really, really far off. But that would tell you that, if it doesn't go a different direction, or if the ship sails more towards it, dark clouds would be looming closer as the afternoon settles on. So it does give you a little information about that. But as everyone continues to you were telling them all about your backstories about how you had been cast aside from your other fellow Ghastlies and other fellow sort of animal friends, and you were on the run, desperate and alone, injured until Peaches just happened to be right there.
Save me.
And bring you back from the cusp of doom, nursing him back to health, and
We can't. I want more candy.
and and everyone that's in Zupendus was letting you know about the kind of epic things that they've had going on with them. They were tasked by a prefect at first, an ancient wizened woman, about. Was it a friend? Yeah, look.
No, it's a spider.
He came down and say hello. Maybe he wants to roll it again.
Well,
And they were letting you know about this sort of epic undertaking that they've been on. There was a prefect back in Hamlin Castle that had really sort of noticed something about them, something different, something unique. Really, as soon as that happened, that instilled a kind of a fear, a trepidation in her, and she sent them away right away. As it turns out, there was a plot in the castle that night to see them killed. So they fled, and they've really been on the run from the King of Hamlina ever since. And they've learned a little bit about something called a world spell, some long forgotten ancient magic that had been cast on the world itself to bar it or to protect it from something ancient. They know that they're connected to it somehow, and they also know that the world spell has already sort of spurned the king on to further sort of facilitate their defeat. He's been looking for them at every turn. It seems like they seem to rouse suspicion wherever they go. So now, as the literal light of fate is guiding them north across the ocean, they do admit that they're not sure what they're going to encounter once they arrive at land. They're not sure where the light of fate is going to take them, but they do know that the King of Hamlina has definitely been casting out his nets to look for them, and also that they've discovered some ancient information about about how things were back then. Apparently, something happened back then that seemed to cause the world spell to be created. Something with the Great Five, and something with one of the most ancient and prevalent stories and myths about Argela. That that 10,000 years ago, they knew that the Great Five did do something heroic, something to save the world. They don't know much more about it than that. Other than that, Irving has been having some strange lucid dreams as of late. Like he's walking around in Hamlina, except for it's like the advent of the village. There was nothing there. It was rustic. And even trying to think of those dreams and those memories now, they're just at the edge of your mind, fading from your memory. But it's almost like you were there. The crisp grass, and the high arcing sun. It was surreal.
I was there.
And they also procured a bit of a banner or a pennant that was hanging from an ancient room that they'd found, really lined with some strange ancient raving runes that no one had ever seen anything like it before. And you find yourself while you're sleeping or while you're resting or not doing anything, reaching into your pocket and sort of clutching it. You find yourself waking up and you're like holding it while you were sleeping. You just seem to find a warmth or get drawn to it whenever you're using it. The ship and as the ship does continue on, the sun does slowly settle and sink off into the horizon, as the afternoon hours and then finally dusk starts to settle over the ship. And again, it's nothing around you now, but the coarse splashing of the waves against the ship itself, the briny sea air blowing straight through the sails. The deckhands still, shouting things to each other, with the captain still on the back partition of the ship, guiding the wheel and looking out overhead, over the dusk-filled horizon. It's getting late to that point of night to where, if you were to look over the side of the ship, you would notice a bit of a thin mist wallowing around the outside of the ship and off into the distance, as you can feel the humidity in the air drop. As the once warm winds from the ocean are now cool, even cold, spraying water on you while you're staring out over the water. Mist sort of thin, like a thin little veil over a foot or two of the ocean all around you. You can still see the occasional churning waves breaking and cresting here and there, but it's nothing around you but the sound of the wind and the sea. No birds. The only sound of your own scuffling against the deck of the ship. And maybe the occasional far-out cry of some a pelican or a sea stork, but few and far between, as the first occasional stars begin to litter the sky behind you. Captain's going to say, 2. I don't like this mist. It's bad luck.
How's my double-headed, skinned bird?
Oh, the bicodal.
Yeah, Benny Craig.
Benny Craig, the bicodal, y'all. While you were fishing, it was either perched on your shoulder or like curiously sniffing the fish that you caught up on deck, and like hopping around on the deck of the ship itself while everyone was catching fish.
Aww.
Sort of checking stuff out, getting a nibble here and there. The fish, like when it lands on the deck of the ship, and I went like, oh, look at that. I might scurry up and be like, give a little. More curious than anything, but it's it seems to be always ravenously hungry.
Nice. I'm gonna keep feeding it every chance that I get.
Are there any like small fish that are like around the boat, like jumping or anything?
Oh, we're not in the tavern, y'all.
We ain't doing no dancing yet.
Not yet.
We ain't dancing yet.
The dancing we doing is the jigs at the end of the
Some of the deckhands take a couple of big, glowing lanterns, and they set them on the bow of the ship and on the stern. They put them here and there so that the whole ship seems to glow with a pale yellow tint as night hours are settling down over the ocean, and with that thin sort of ominous mist drawing in over the water. And again, nothing but the rhythmic sounds of the waves splashing against the wood and the gusting of the air. Let everyone roll another investigation check. A 6.
Bro, get
A
out of
2.
here. Get out of here.
Battle it to a 3 and stuck a 4.
Thanks.
Oh, I tried to.
A 5.
Can you give me that 5?
This.
I tried.
Ooh, tried to hit it and landed a 4. Battle 3 to a 6.
Woo!
Nice.
Thank you.
You can take the 6 out.
Oh.
You got a 5.
5.
Yeah, you got to
Knocked
reroll
it
yours.
down to a
Hit the
1.
one.
Hit the 1.
Oh.
So-
Battle the
Yeah,
1
4.
up to a 4.
Better than it was.
Who got that 6?
I did.
Give you a 1d6 experience.
Ooh. A 6.
A 6. Roll it again. Whew. That's 6 experience. As everyone was, scanning the ocean out before them, or coming up from below decks, or standing at the front of the ship looking out over the water, you were floating about a foot over the edge of the rail, alongside the ship, sort of looking down over the mist and of the churning water. You thought you saw something break above the waves at the bottom of the ship, but it's dark, and with only the starlight and it's getting somewhat cloudy. You see a little sparse strips of dark gray clouds blocking the stars here and there, and you don't see the moon. But enough starlight is cast to where you thought you saw something small and appendage-like splash up over the water. Again, as you looking down, sort of trying to look closer and more intently, it definitely is some kind of a hand plunged out of the water. You notice bone, purple sunken flesh, tattered cloth. As you drift closer to the ship now, looking surprised, all of a sudden it's a head breaking out of the water. You see wide-finned sort of a face with bones sticking out of protruding spots, with decaying flesh and dark purple matted skin. Big black beaded eyes, as what looks like some, it's been underwater so long. As shoulders break, you see bone and rotten, tattered clothing, as what looks like some kind of a deep-sea, zombified merfolk comes sprawling up out of the side of the water, gripping against the sides.
I yell out, intruder on the side of the boat.
You just
As soon as you take a deep breath and just go, gasp! You see another one,
And I'm pointing.
and half of its body is up out of the water now, gripping with bony clawed fingers into the side of the grimy, barnacled side of the ship. But as it's slowly just shuffling up higher and higher up, you see another one break out of the water, and another one next to that. As they're en masse, slowly coming out of the water here, streaming up up the side of the ship.
Alrighty.
Time to fight some fish people.
But I
I
don't
ain't bird
know if
people,
they want to
so-
fight. They may just be, misunderstood.
I mean, that's a good point.
We haven't heard their side of the story.
See how they're feeling about us being in the waters.
Yeah, old Greg's. A bunch of old Greg's coming. Yeah, what you
You've
doing in
What are you
Milwaukee?
doing in
Definitely
Milwaukee?
not
All of these,
fishing.
Really? Let's go.
I'm not even like halfway through.
Then what's this
Nice.
I might need to talk to you later about what some of this
What's this?
Yeah, man, I got
What's
you.
this hook doing in my head? Like a liquor?
Calm down.
I'm so sorry. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah,
Calm down,
so many on this
put it
guy.
on
I'm like, I need
I got
flash.
something
I'm
to
not
show
gonna
you.
hurt you.
Got something to show you. My downstairs mix up.
It's whole great.
Love old Greg.
Do you love me? Can you learn to love me?
So letting out a warning, if we say that everyone was scattered around the ship like this, and you're over here, and you're here, and where are you at?
She's back here.
Peaches, I'm right here.
The sail is totally in the way. I'm gonna put you back here on the ship, looking out over the back side of the ship. One
She's gonna just hit him with
drum
the fan.
over on the other side of the ship here, sprinkles here. Yeah, as everyone hears the loud sound of warning from Shadow, as you look down again, you can already see the one of them has already gotten halfway up the side of the ship, and the other two have just about fully come out of the water.
Since I've seen him, can I cast confusion on the one that's the furthest up?
Yeah, go ahead. Two. Looking down, your eyes glow bright pink for just a moment, focusing intently on this this zombified merfolk, as it's again up the side of the ship. A ripple of psychic energy washes over it, but it doesn't relent. It seems its mind is so far gone it can't be affected by these kind of psychic spells.
Ooh.
Being zombified, it's singularly driven to get up the ship and attack.
Yeah.
So it can't be confused.
It's ineffective. This move has no effect.
As everyone turns towards the sound of to Shadow's warning, I'll give everyone a speed roll to see how closely they can advance towards the point of the noise before they start coming up over the side of the ship.
Do people with higher agility get an advantage?
If your agility is over 7, you get a +1.
It has not 7 or higher,
Yeah, it has to be over 7.
So it's only him.
Somebody take
It's a 2+1. Knocked it into a 2+1.
Yeah, 3.
You can hit it again if you like, or battle any.
This
Boom!
is great.
You broke it.
You got them heavy
Argela.
That's a meteor strike.
It's
Let's go.
broken.
Send it home.
Battle into a 6.
Oh.
Battle into a 6. Let's go. Flipped a 2.
Alright, I guess I'll go.
Knocked it into a 3,
I
but you
got
hit a
you.
6.
Better. Yeah.
Has everyone rolled their speed roll?
Instead of a speed roll, can I just get my scimitar and use my roll instead? You just do my my prepared stance with the scimitar.
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
you come at me.
Go ahead. Speed. Readying. You rolled a 6 for speed. You rolled a 5 for speed. You rolled a... What did you roll?
I think I rolled it hard. I forgot. It was like a 2.
So then I will say, just to track how far everyone can go on the speed roll, we'll say with a 3, you're able to move all the way across the side of the ship to this side, though as you were to look over the side, they're still about 15-20 feet down where Shadow is floating there. On a 2, you were just right here. So you only have to walk over to this side to look over from this direction of the ship and see the similar thing, although you're only about 10 feet out from the lead one of the pack. On a 5, on a 5, you're floating, floating a foot above the railing alongside the ship.
I didn't roll.
Oh, I thought you did a speed roll.
No, that was him.
What?
Oh,
Should
you're,
I do one? I didn't
oh,
know if I
you're
needed to
right
do
there.
one.
You're
Yeah,
right there.
I didn't
so.
know if I needed. I didn't think.
And so with a 5, stepping off over the top of the rail here, you flutter your wings out, floating over Slippy's head, landing underneath the sails. And you're like right here. Nice. See if you'll say, oh yeah, he's a... Dude, that is perfect. That is perfect. Look at that. So perfect. I couldn't keep it. Oh no.
Here, hold on. Let's do that.
It's the map there. Please stay. Perfect,
Don't
perfect,
move.
perfect.
I'm trying not to.
And then with a 2 roll,
Have I used
Standing.
my advantage?
No.
you didn't use it while you were fishing, did you?
Mm-mm.
You didn't. I
Then
haven't either.
Then I'd like to use it again on my scimitar.
Nice. Uses the advantage shard. A 3.
Hey.
So
That's
taking
one
taking
better.
1 step forward and smoothly drawing out your scimitar. There's that familiar ringing of steel. Shing. Standing defensively, holding it out. You're waiting. You haven't even seen what's gonna come over the edge yet, but you're committed to being ready regardless. Nice. So because of the distance, and you rolled a 6. Nice. So that is gonna put you hopping off. You're able to step right here. Right up on the other side of the sails, Ghastly's, the Shadow is floating out there just a couple feet out ahead of you, looking down. And as you look down, you see these skittering, shambling, sort of half-skeletal merfolk. Again, a lot of the skin has been sort of sloughed off from being underwater for so long, revealing black, grimy bone underneath. And the merfolk in this game, they have bigger, dark eyes, and they've got fin pieces that come out from the side of their face with bones sticking out of the ends. which of course, as they growl and snarl with dark, rancid, broken-looking faces, some of the skin is sloughed off over an eye, and it's just dark, grimy bone underneath. As you're watching them just shuffle up the side of the ship. So the lead one is going to get high enough to where, because you're floating overhead, as Irving floated down to that section in front of the sails with two bony clawed hands, it finally comes up over the railing, more into the lantern light on deck, to where you can really see, the skin hanging off of its bone shoulder. And rib cage is exposed. Yeah, rib cage is exposed underneath sagging, rotting flesh.
They just need some moisturizer.
They need the factory.
Yeah,
they need the factory.
Water, drying them up.
So, throwing himself over. I'll say instead of throwing himself over, he comes up to the railing and he just lunges straight at Irving
Wow.
with a 6.
Oh.
Well,
Hit that thing, girl.
You could be launching in for a hug. Like, let's not misunderstand.
He's trying to get a hug.
He's gonna battle my 6. Battle it into a 2 and landed a 4.
Nice.
It thrusts itself at you, and you dodge out of the way, sort of hitting its body. Some of the skin even sort of sloughs off of it when you bat it away off of its arm.
Oh, it's like that walker that was stuck in the.
I did it again.
Well,
I'm trying to get to this guy.
In the Walking Dead. At
I rolled to
Argel's,
hit it with the
or
shatter
whatever, I
dagger.
think, and they were pulling it up, and it just.
It was more defensive, as you had your arm up, batting its body away as it lunged at you. Some of the skin did graze off of its arm. It's purple and slimy.
Gross.
Gross.
It lands in a heap of hands and bony legs in between the spot behind you and where Drum was standing defensively, sort of reeling up again with a quickness that seems to defy it. It's going to, not lunging forward in the air, but rear up on both of its legs, slashing at you with bony hands. 2. So
Slashing at me?
yes, because you did your defensive stance, I'll give you a +1.
You talking
He's talking about me.
Talking about me.
A 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now you see what you're not
Your
gonna
your
do,
blade
so
comes up in a
okay.
flash, hitting his hand away so hard that a couple of the fingers do break and shatter off of the end. Its other hand comes around in a swipe, and you just step back cleanly. You feel your back of your body hitting the railing of the ship as it swipes and misses.
Oh, he's in good jumping position. He's about to stomp him.
The other 2, and as you're watching now, you see even more of the hands come out of the water, as you see a 4th and a 5th.
Ooh.
Dang, these boys. Oh,
As hands and sunken-in faces and skeletal visages come splashing out of the water and the mist, and just scraping and scrambling, crawling up the side of the ship to try to get up onto it. But now we'll go to the top of the turn order. Go ahead.
Do I still hear like clicking and clattering around?
Yeah, the one that landed behind you landed at a front, and you heard it get up and swing around. But you also heard that ringing of steel and Drum grunting behind you. So you can tell that he's engaging that one for sure. And you can already hear over the side of the ship the scratching and clawing of things littered all on the side of the ship, making their advance.
I think I have a crossbow. Kind of want to just shoot the ones that are off the side, like just straight down.
You got it.
Let me make sure that I do before I get off. I don't know how I would, but I think I had one. I'd give it a shot.
As the deckhands all, dropping ropes and stepping away from the railing, one of them mutters a curse under his breath and makes some kind of a sailor symbol over his face. As the captain, still steering the ship, just yells out, "Ah! Don't let them get to the wheel! They'll tear it up!"
Tear it up.
Okay. So I don't have a. No, I don't have a crossbow, but what I do have is
Just trying to start putting them.
some monk feet. So I'm gonna go up and raid a roundhouse kick it.
The one that's behind you now? Or the one?
Rip off
Okay.
his arm and
Thinking
shove it in
outside
the
the box.
inventory.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm probably
What's
just
up?
gonna go up there and protect him. 'Cause I
What are you doing?
don't do anything
I know I'm already holding some. But if he's going to do a high kick at him,
Okay.
would it be possible for me to use my Kimigiri to kick low at the same time?
Yeah, if you want to use
Remember
up,
that tag team?
if you want to
where
use
they
up,
would kick the
if
guy
you want to use
up low?
up, if you want to use up some of your next turn to do it now.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. Kimigiri is a low sweeping kick move that he picked up earlier in the campaign. So if Irving's going high, then Drum is going low,
Epic.
and both of you make your rolls at the same time.
Just on something heavy. Or on something
3, 8.
tied around them and chuck it off.
Oh, and
That's
yeah,
strong,
I'll use channel, so my kick is also a 3 AP charge.
Nice.
Let's go.
Taking that moment to reel your foot back first, you feel the tension in your hips as you ball your kick forward.
I'm gonna kick the crap out of
Mm.
this dude.
Yo, he's just gonna split in half.
Yeah.
Still come after you.
Oh! Mine's a
Nice
goner.
overboard.
It's over there.
Nice overboard.
Dice be tumbling in this game, y'all. They be tumbling.
I don't want to betray. Let's go.
They tied
Match
fives.
five.
They matched
Nice.
fives. They matched fives.
Dude.
Match.
Is that a
Nice.
team
Yes,
skill?
that is a team skill.
Let's
It's a
go.
sick team skill.
Wow.
Yes.
And
Oh, it's
mine's a raving
it's the roundhouse Geary.
roundhouse gear.
Bro, yes.
Is it a raving roundhouse gear?
Did you do a raving roundhouse just now?
Yeah, that's the move. Is raving roundhouse.
So yours becomes the raving. It's the raving roundhouse Geary. You just pick up the skill roundhouse Geary.
Sweet.
And literally, as soon as it landed and started swiping at you furiously, you already saw Irving on the other side of him, on the other side of the ship, coiling his body, spinning up, twisting around. The back crow pointed leg of point of his feet, spinning around in a wide kick. So, arching your foot back as hard as you can, you swing low. As you hit him on the side of his leg at the same time, the kick connects solidly with the side of his head. As he
You guys just split him in
an
two.
arm busts off and bones break and
What
spray in
the
every
hell?
direction as it slams into the deck of the ship, crumbling.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
That's what you get, stupid.
Fatality.
It's like a
Gasly just goes, ah, you're done, son.
Put us in Street Fighter.
Wow, so that one was dispatched, and now we'll go to Agility 7s.
What was the
Yeah, what are the
cost and everything?
AP and all that?
We'll say it's 2 MP, 1d6.
Sick.
Level up the moves, yeah, leveling them up.
We could go for a team skill.
They're plotting out some team skills,
I
plotting
can
them
use
out.
my
We've had,
bow.
yeah, we've had good momentum with him. We might as well.
Let's keep on
So there's
going.
none. There's one right there on. Is that one on me?
Those two are about to get up. No, that's a deckhand back there.
Yeah, this one's a
Okay.
deckhand.
These two were behind the first one, and so they're literally going to be hitting the arc of the
Nice.
railing and pulling themselves up and over as your turns are starting.
Can I just look over the railing and shoot him?
You would be, it'd be right at the top of the rail as you took your shot.
Can I jump to where you're shooting and then use Kazap to amplify the electric effect?
It'll have to be expert timing.
You're gonna zap me.
I mean, you're shooting an arrow, so you're going to jump out sort of where he's at, firing it out next to him. Well, actually, you guys are each on different sides, and so if he's firing it almost towards you and down, because you're on opposite ends of the ship,
So you, like,
looking this
look
way.
over and just point at it, right?
Kazap is a localized electric spell, but you're firing the arrow from the other side of the ship down towards
If I
him.
jump off the boat
You
and
get-
then like grab onto one of them that's climbing. Can I then cast Kazap on myself where he's shooting?
Yeah. Well, he's shooting for this closest one, and you'd be jumping at this closest
I
one
think
to
we
you.
should attack two different ones and keep them from getting on the ship.
Alright. You wanna go first then?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Alright. Drawing back the yellow, magic-hued bow.
I will use a fine
You see,
crafted arrow.
you see grimy, clawed, bony fingers, and a half skeletal, half skin melted head. Launching the arrow. Again, the whole night air around you lets out a crackle of yellow magic as the arrow streaks out from it. A 2. The arrow slams into its arm, breaking the arm totally off. The electricity, you see it tremble and shudder over its body as it shakes and racks there. One hand still on the railing. but its arm got busted completely off, and one foot slid, and its head is sort of shaking and rocking, but it didn't relent its grip.
It can't climb up with one hand. I think it's neutralized.
Well, it has feet too that probably grip as well. It might make something.
Sure
work.
to go.
Well, it's probably paralyzed for the moment.
Oh,
Can I take a shot at another one?
Yeah, there's another one coming up this direction here, about over the edge, and you can already see Slippy way down the deck, like poised, like he's about ready to jump at it. But then this is the one you shot at, right? So then there was another one coming up behind him, underneath where Shadow is sort of looming there, and then another one coming up here.
Well,
You can already see it's already about halfway up the ship at this point, and this one's at least a third of the way up the ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that one.
Okay. 3 and a 2. So with an electric arc light, as soon as you draw the arrow back and loose it, you even see some of the crackling energy spiral off onto the side of the ship itself as it comes down and does a grazing sort of cut across its back. Instantly, the wet, soggy clothes on it ignite, singeing up its back, revealing skeletal bones and murky goop inside of it.
Ew.
Yeah, man, sorry.
yeah. You did that.
Did he fall?
No, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, but it did slow his advance. As it stopped for a second, refound its handling, and then slowly begins climbing up the side of the ship. So now it does come to Slippy's turn.
I'm gonna jump off the side, and
There
then,
might be over there. Are there any waters over there?
There's one right there.
Here, let me get it, please.
Yeah, there's one with his hands, as he's bringing his head and his shoulders up over the railing right in front of you. That's this one. And then down behind him, as you see lightning flashing out across the water behind him, illuminating the whole area there in front of the ship where you can see them, heads slowly melting up out of the mist in the water as they're clambering higher and higher. This one is about halfway up the ship, and this one is really about to pounce over the side.
I'll hop out into the water, and during the hop, I'll cast Kazap on these two that are climbing.
This one is at the top, like it's already got hands over the top. This one is about 15 feet up the side. So if you were to drop in the water, you'd be looking up out at it, unless you did it as you were falling.
That's what I was going for.
So roll for the jumping out first, unless you're going to use a move.
I can use Predate Bound for a D8.
A 3. So as you go to hop up on the railing, because you're adjacent to this one here, you went to bound over it, but at the same time, with one clawed, bony fingers, it's going to try to do one raking motion to catch you in the air. Well,
Nice.
well,
The box.
even I can keep the box with a 4.
Oh no.
Battle it into a 2 and lands a 3.
Nice.
Its grimy fingers just miss you as you flip back slowly over it. Like you watch its hands just barely miss you. And as you're falling now, there's that moment of weightlessness as you're dropping, the ship next to you. And you're going to have to, as you roll the Kazap, it's going to have to be a 5 or a 6 to Kazap it as you're streaking past it.
Alright, so
Oh, well, what do you roll for Kazap?
a 1D3.
1d3? There can't be a 1d3.
There's no such thing.
It's
There's
3
no
AP
such-
You
and a
must have read
1d.
that.
Yeah, it's got to be an 8 then. It's got to be an 8.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
1d8.
I was like,
I don't know why that's a D3, y'all. I don't know why. Or for that, you have
I thought
to
it was
hit
gonna be our
the.
first D3.
You'll have to hit the 6.
Oh, I'll save
uh,
it for.
You'll have to hit the 6, or the 7, or the 8 to time it correctly.
Oh, I got a reroll shard on the down.
A reroll shard. Let's go. Wait, who turned in that sweet reroll shard?
Gordito. Let's go.
What?
Now wait. You the only things that you guys can
It's later on.
can give
It's
each
next.
other. As far as the group buffs and stuff, you guys can't give each other force the advantage. You guys can't give yourselves the
Wait, no,
reroll
reroll
shard.
shard.
Well, I'm not
For
gonna
you,
give it
that's what that
myself.
is.
I'm giving it to someone else.
Yeah, but you.
Oh, it can't be in the group.
Yeah, it can't be in the
Oh,
group.
no.
It can't be in the group. Only
That's
people that
okay.
are watching from the chat can give the players those reroll shards.
I got you.
It's okay. I'll use it later.
It took a shot. I will.
I was like,
I will give. I will give Tibbet. I'll give Tibbet one reroll shard because I know I had to let them know about being able to do it ahead of time, but I didn't let them know that they weren't able to use those on the friendly players.
Oh, okay.
So
Apologies.
I will give Tibbet that reroll shard, and I know.
What does he get?
Huh?
Are you gonna roll for it?
Oh no, you spent the money, so.
Oh, what shard is it?
A reroll shard.
Oh, it's just a reroll.
Yeah, reroll
Oh,
shard.
got it,
For Tibbet, yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You said slip it and then
I said slip it.
it.
Well, I was doing it
Slipped.
fast. I was doing it fast. So then I just hit enter.
He was
to
trying.
try and get it in quick.
So on Kazap, you'll have to hit the 6, the 7, or the 8 to land it as you're falling past it.
Oh, you got it.
You got this.
I'm gonna use my advantage shard for this.
Uses the advantage shard on the D8. The first one is an 8.
It's a 6.
Oh, that's a 6. The first one is a 6. The second one is a 5.
Oh, 3.
Oh, a 3. See,
But I get the 6.
but the 6 counts as you streak past it. You yell the slime word for Kazap, and you feel a release of energy leaping out of your body. Again, the light comes out of you in an illuminating flash from the side of the boat, where everyone can see, like a flashbulb going off in that one moment. You hear the heavy zzz of energy, and as you then splash into the water, that zombified merfolk's body splashes, landing on top of you. As you break over the waves, again the mist all around you, the dark, cold water up to your shoulders, and it's floating there next to you. You see its head is missing, a charred, nothing but a charred stump.
Do I still have action?
That was the bound and the Kazap. So yeah, you have one more action.
You said he's floating beside me?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm in the water.
Yes, you are definitely in the water here. Is it floating beside you?
Yeah, I'm gonna use Predate Glutton on it to eat the zombie.
Okay.
Tastes like shit. Oh, is that 6?
That is a 6.
Hey.
So you slough your body over it, and the both of you start to sink underneath. You can feel its bony body and some of its worn clothing sink into your lower body as you slowly absorb it. It leaves a rancid taste in the back of your mouth, like hot garbage.
Ugh. That's always a thing.
But that will give you predate sink. And that's 3 a day on a 1d8.
Ooh, Predate Sink.
Yeah.
You can use that with predate dive.
Yeah.
It would go down for us.
Picking up the skills, y'all. Picking up the skills. So now it is Drum's turn. After doing the
Oh, did you?
it's 7s, then
Yeah, we're last, remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, that's right. He's back.
It'll go around in a
My
circle
bad,
like
my bad,
this.
my bad. I thought they went at the same time.
the last
Man.
move was the
Yeah, we laughed.
as you devoured the fleshy, bony remains of that zombified merfolk.
You said it was a 3-day...
1d8.
1d8.
You and Irving skillfully knocked the head clean off of that zombified merfolk, and it's this body lying in a heap in front of you, water dripping from it and goop dripping out of its chest cavity. It's not moving. You see Slippy ahead of you, hop right over the edge of the ship, and as he does, something swiped at him. So, looking out ahead, there is one of these shambling zombies that's scraping and getting its legs up over the railing of the ship as your turn starts.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna walk up to the edge with my scimitar and just do another prepared stance. Like as soon as I see that head, I'm gonna just take a golf swing with my scimitar.
So roll a d6.
Get him tired.
A 3. Stepping forward, again, holding the scimitar out flat against you. You can see your own reflection in the glossy blade. Gritting your teeth, you just say, "Come on!" Zombie goes to let out a cry, but it lets out a wet, bubbly as goop and grime come out of its mouth.
Say it, don't spray it.
Oh, it sprayed it. It sprayed it. And then, running along on all fours for just a second, it's going to leap violently at you. You get a +1 on the defense. I rolled a 5.
Battled that.
No, you gotta die.
Battled it. He's gonna battle it. Oh, hits the 1.
How ironic.
As you twist the blade around to try to do a skewering or even a block, it slams into the blade and slams the full force of its body into you. As it's pushing you on top of your legs and your shoulders, just biting, clawing, and scratching, pushes you back forcefully to the back railing of the ship again. You feel yourself momentarily lose balance as something rakes across your face, digs into your shoulder, and tries to bite you. You take 2 damage.
He's trying to fuck.
He wants to get a little intimate, a little down in person.
Pressed up against the wall, my
It's
god.
your action again.
That wrist.
You get 1 more. You did the brace and then the block.
Well, I would like to remind you that I'm wearing my scorching strikers, and I would just like to just do Chuck Liddell boxing and uppercuts and everything.
The Iceman cometh.
Yes.
Whoa!
Mostly been running for style points. Just a little.
A 2.
I guess I'm gonna have to gradually go up one by one.
So bringing one hand back, you hit it in the midsection like this, causing its legs to kind of buckle off of you for a second. A 4. So your other hand comes up and hits it in the rib cage. Both its hands were grasping over your shoulders and your neck. But you boom, boom once. One of its hands lets go, but the other one sinks in deeper as it, gets its mouth around and bites you firmly on the shoulder. It's another 2 damage.
You're a zombie now.
You're gonna get AIDS.
You should have died.
Not the Murray.
He's gonna get that zombie mercy, y'all. You don't want to.
Not the Mercy.
Scurvy.
Scurvy.
The Mer scurvy. The Mer scurvy.
The black.
So now it comes along to Peaches' action. You're familiar with battle at this point, but watching these strange, zombified, half-skeletal, half-rotting flesh merfolk come clambering up over the side of the ship made your stomach retch for just a moment. But then as you watch everyone else around you swing into action, diving over the edge of the water, casting arrows and spells, drawing of blades and swinging of legs, they rush themselves into the oncoming horde with no sense for their own safety.
Yikes.
And his shadow is still floating over there, looking down at them as they're all drawing up the side of the ship. Sprinkles is right there behind you, right? There was a huge flash of is he by there? There was a flash of yellow light and a streaking of electricity as he was just loosing arrows. He did hit one, and he did cause it to slow, but it's about 3/4 of the way up the side of the ship now. It's one arm sort of scraping, and its feet. You hear it just on the ship as it's trying to get up closer.
Our table. I want to roll a d10 for my duality.
Nice, go ahead. Yeah, switch it up.
If I can find it.
5. You squint for a second and blink hard, shaking. As you do, your normally dark, sort of velvet-colored hair instantly out from the scalp, like it just radiates, and turning into a stark blonde. You open your you open your eyes again, and you're filled with anger. Spinning your staff around into the spear position, you stomp it once on the deck of the ship as you step up over the edge, and it is up to the point now to where its hands are about to reach up over to the railing. Looking down at it, you just let out a scowl, and you say, "Really? On my ship?"
I'm gonna say, y'all are like really ugly. And then I guess use my spear end and poke it in the eye.
Nice, go for it.
Yeah, the level 1 and then got my stuff.
4.
Nice. A 4 and a 3.
Nice.
Yay.
So thrusting the spear out, it doesn't hit it right in the eye or in the face, but it grazes the side of its face, almost bashing it, causing its skeletal cheekbone to break off, its eye to sag over in its socket, and its whole jaw to like unhinge a little bit on the side. It's sort of with your spear still kind of half in the side of its face. It just looks over at you and goes to go, ah, but its jawbone just falls off, skin hanging off the edges of it.
Gross.
Pick your jaw.
Couldn't be. My eyes are up here.
So as you sort of push the spear out and through the side of its face, you can reel back and make another attack.
I have this analyze and assault.
So when you're in that form, the skill is called Assault.
Yeah.
And that is it's a. I'm trying to get this on the charger here. There we go. It is just a surging attack with whatever weapon you have equipped.
Oh, well, we can try that. I get 12 of them.
What?
Nice. 3 and a 6.
Oh.
This time, as you
That's not good.
reel the spear back, thrusting it forward with all your might, it glides right through its collarbone and its upper chest, just punching through it, almost with no resistance or effort. As it scrambles up over the top of the railing, it's shuffling close enough to where it's like, the spear's going all the way through, and it's sliding along it to get closer to you. It's going to try to rake you in the eyes with a 1. Roll a d6.
Don't let him rake you.
Don't rake me.
A 6. Roll it again.
A 6? Oh, wait, just kidding. That was the way it was curved. It's a 2.
So reaching out with your other hand, you grab it by its bony, grimy wrist, and you went to snap it, and you end up just breaking it clean off. Snap.
Oh.
With the hand still going this in your hand while you're holding it.
Sorry, not sorry.
Because you've got it skewered, it's going to try to jump at you, but because it's pinned by your spear, it's just going to try to fall on top of you instead with a 2. A 5.
Nice.
So you rear the spear up, it breaks its arm and shoulder bone clean away as it drops down onto the deck in front of you. So you step back holding the spear pointed down at it. It is getting up with its good hand and its 2 legs, but its whole shoulder piece and arm have broken off. This part of its head has been blown off, and it's sort of like trying to get up in skittering, jerking motions. So it's like trying its best, but it seems like the attacks rattle it so much to where it's moving in these skittering, jerking spasms. That's the word I was looking for.
Spasms.
And that makes it your turn.
So I'm going to kind of float down closer to these guys.
Okay. So that
And
one
then-
is on the deck of the
So
ship.
whichever one is still climbing up, and then I'm going to attempt to attack it twice, like its legs, I guess, because its arms are going to be used to going up. So I'm gonna go right below it and attempt to attack the leg.
Got it. D6.
Come on, beans! Come on, beans!
A 6. Let's go.
The beans,
The
boy.
beans never
Down
fail.
with the beans.
6.
A second 6. No
beans
way.
kicked
No way.
in.
The beans kicked in.
Boy.
Must have been Pinto
I want
beans.
to.
Wow. Wowee.
Have
And
you
that was
used
just
your-
one attack.
Have you used your advantage shot? Or
No.
would that be?
Could I use an advantage shot? No,
If
I don't
someone's-
want to use an advantage.
If someone's giving you one, you want to use it now. You
Well,
can,
no, I had mine. I still have mine.
Yeah,
so.
if you want to, you can always use it for this or hang on to it.
No, I'm gonna hang on.
As you float down, again, the ship sort of rushing through the water still while this battle is happening. The one that's climbing up, and you can see that it's got thick bits of mossy, dark hair coming off of a rotting scalp. You slam into the back of its bony legs, right? The first time you hit the ship behind it, boom, causing it to rattle and shake against the side of the ship. You draw back again, and you slam into its other legs and the back part of its body as hard as you can. This time almost like stunning you because you slammed into the back of the ship with all the force you can muster. And it does let go, like reeling back like this. As it falls over backwards,
I'm gonna phase through it.
roll for that. I got a 5.
Come on, beans.
Battle it.
Beans.
Beans.
Knocked my.
the beans don't get it. The bean don't lie.
Beans kick.
You go, and you just blink out invisibly, just for that moment. When you can sort of watch it pass through you if your eyes are still open, so you can see all of its goopy, dark innards and its gray bone matter.
I'm gonna as I go through it, I'm gonna look at it. As I go through it, I'm
back
gonna
into the
turn
water.
around as he's falling and just
making a scary face,
Before I even have the moon.
peering back down at it as it splooshes into the water. So you knocked it clean off the side of the ship.
Are there any more climbing on the side of the ship?
There was exactly 2 more that hadn't been.
And then I'll attempt to go towards the closest one and swipe it at 2 if I can.
So yeah, there's another one over here that had just come out of the water just a few seconds ago. So it's only about a third of the way up. But you know, this one has a bigger sort of body. You notice that this side of its body is like bulbous and pushed out, as if it's soaked up water or soaked up some mass from the water below.
Could be a bummer.
Ooh, I could hit it from the side. Like instead of hitting it straight on, since I'm over on this side, I could kind of swoop in and try to hit it kind of off.
You got it. Roll a d6.
Let's use the good beans.
No. A 1 and a 5. No. As you float, swooping in closer, you feel yourself getting more solid as your body becomes visible. As you swoop up towards it, you notice that this one does have a good deal amount of more flesh on it. Though over here, it's got skeletal ribs, and it looks over at you, and with this big, bloated, veiny, grimy hand, it swats you, bang, back. Ow! You take 2 damage and spin slowly down and away from it alongside the ship.
You just got pimp smack.
You just smacked the shit out of me.
You got knocked out.
So those zombified merfolk are gonna take some actions. A 1 and a 6. Let's roll that 6 again. A second 6.
Wow.
Don't do it again.
And a 4.
No.
So there was one that was still floating in the water, but these 2, as this one scrambles up onto the deck of the ship, and this one's gonna do the same. Oh.
I am alive.
Feeling lucky. This one that had landed in front of you, you were still, watching it as it was trying to get up. But then, coming up over the side of the railing again, is another smaller one, with a lot of the skin still over its webbed face, dark, black, murky, beady eyes. It growls out at you with a sputtering, flecking, forked tongue. This one, springing itself off the railing. This plastic piece is in the way. It's gonna lunge itself at you. I know, right? It's gonna lunge itself at you with a 1. Roll to evade.
Is that me?
Oh yeah.
I was like, what?
He coming up.
It is
I
attacking.
didn't know it was coming to me.
A 5.
5.
So whipping your spear around, you bat one clawed hand away, and as you step back with the butt end of it, you pushes his chest back once and twice, keeping it out of arm's reach as it's trying to bite and claw and scratch at you. The other one that comes up over is again different than the rest. It looks to have been a bigger, wider merfolk. Although this side is all hollowed out, rotting cloth and sagging organs. It's got a heavily muscled side here that's like bulbous, with dark, veiny, wet sort of veins going all over its heavily muscled arm. It drags itself over the railing, and is that arm again a good 2 feet longer than the other one. The back knuckles slam against the ground, sploshing water and grime everywhere.
Take my strong arm.
It is in range of the deckhand, so it is going to reach out towards the deckhand. Oh wow! The deckhand backing up trips over the back step and ends up falling onto his back and on his hind end as this massive sort of shuffling, zombified, muscular merfolk, dragging its heavy arm towards it, just going grrr, grrr, grrr. Stars. Don't maybe give him a rocket launcher.
If he pulls that around, I'm just dipping.
He is going to get one more action. That's a 5. The deckhand rolls a 2, bringing its massive, bulbous, bloated fist around in an arcing circle. It slams it down onto his legs, breaking one of them. You hear a loud crack echo out over the ship, and he yells, "Ah!"
Oh, that guy.
Walk it off.
All right, going back to the top of the turn order. Irving. Yeah, you and Drum had kicked that one, so hard that you heard its head snap against the ground and roll away. Another one then lunged from behind you at Drum, and you heard the pattering of cloth as it landed on top of him. scratching and clawing as it's pushed him back against the railing of the ship. And then you hear, you can feel it coming over the railing, and with a heavy whoomp, something large and imposing landed out here about 6 feet in front of you. You then hear it just go grr, 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 and then you hear heavy boom, booming, as whatever it is, it's hitting hard. And behind you, you can hear them breaking over the railing, skittering and scratching. You heard Peaches let out a hefty battle cry, and you can hear her weapon swinging around and the clashing of it against bone. But she has, there's one on its knees rising at her feet, another one right in front of her that she's keeping back with her staff. So there's like 1.5 of them behind you. Drum is engaging one that's on top of him, and this big, muscular one, as you hear a crack and a crewman yell out in pain. He's attacking someone.
Oh no.
I'm gonna, speed 6, right?
My speed is 5.
5, okay. I'm gonna go for the big guy that's fighting, that's hurting the crew member.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try and, do a double stab with my wind dagger and or the typhoon dagger and the shatter dagger.
You got it, 2d6s.
Let's get
No, I'm gonna roll that one first. That's 4.
Nice. Leaping at it, one dagger, because it's a bit of an open cavity on this side, and you wouldn't have known about its specific anatomy as you were leaping at it. One dagger slides in between its back rib cages, sinking into nothing and landing hollow. The other one sinks into a bloated, wet, meaty back. As wind blasts off from the impact spot, you can feel chunks of rotten flesh and cloth splatter against your face.
That sucks.
Rising, the muscular, zombified merfolk, in one huge spinning motion with the back of his huge bloated fist, brings it around in a crashing swat at you. It's a 1, roll to evade.
Oh.
You won't battle it.
Yeah, you're right.
A 5, nice. You duck easily underneath it, and as he swings wide like this, you have a moment where you can launch an attack against his open body.
Oh, I want to come up with the. I've got the wind ring on. I don't know if that changes, if it powers up this typhoon dagger or not.
It does.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna just take the wind dagger and just go for a slash across his chest.
Okay.
Or can I do a double slash?
You can do... That one got knocked out as it was spinning, so you can do one attack with this one, because you ducked underneath, and you're coming up with the attack.
Nice. Can I do a raving roundhouse?
Sure.
I want to do that. Let's do it. That's a D8.
Get that boy.
Bad roll.
A 5. Nice. And 3. So almost in a flipping motion, whipping your foot around, you let out a kia! You feel it connect against something hard, and you hear a crack. To any who was watching, you knocked his head up and out, and now it's hanging sort of at a 45-degree angle off the side of its neck like this, sort of trembling.
Can I spend another 3 AP to do it again since it hit?
Yes.
Hey.
Where did I
Knock
put
his
that?
fucking head off.
No!
Roll it again.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we gotta roll that again.
3rd time's a charm.
A 6.
Nice.
Landing, you spin around with your other foot this time, crossing your body around as you, with your other foot, whip around once and twice, the raving energy coming off of your spins in like a disc motion each time. It hits his head, crack, sending it over to the other side of his body, and now it's hanging off of his neck broken, just dangling on the edge of his shoulder. The eyes still blinking, the teeth still sputtering and biting. If it's looking at you, you can't tell. It's big, black, dark-set eyes, just sort of stuck lingering there. But as it brought its body around, boom, boom! You did knock its head off of its neck, though from its skin, it's just loosely dangling there on its shoulder. It's going to do one more attack, bring back its heavily muscled fist and trying to crash it straight towards at you with a 5.
Oh. That's a big boy.
What he gonna do?
That's a big boy roll. Oh, and I hit that. I missed it.
But landed a 5.
Oh. All right.
Bringing both hands up with the daggers on them, he hits you on your fist so hard that the force pushes you back 2 or 3 steps, landing you feeling the sails over your shoulders. He punched you back about 5 feet.
He's a large man.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Agility 7s.
How much damage did I take from that?
1. Did just 1 impact damage.
He's dead. Or he, I think.
That one got knocked into the water, but wasn't defeated.
Oh yeah. He just enough.
And I ate the other one.
Yep. So there's 1 in the water, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the deck of the ship.
Where's the closest one?
There's 2.
Right
You're
there.
up against the back of where the high wall is to where the upper deck of the ship is, where the wheel is. Your
Okay.
back is pressed up against it, firing arrows. 2 did clamber aboard. You watched as Peach's hair turned a bright yellow,
So
and
am I
she
up
started
here?
stabbing at
Oh,
one.
you're right here.
But then another one leaped over, and so as she's watching one get up, missing an arm, and the other one had leaped
And-
over to attack
And
her.
these 2, right here.
So there's 2 right in front of
Okay.
her, and there's 2 out further ahead in
And
front
then
of
you
the
got
ship.
deck
Are there
here.
backs to me?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll use dual stab.
Nice.
It's 2d6.
Dual stab. Let's go.
And I get more attacks on successful 6s. Can I borrow a D4?
Of course. Under blast, we'll always roll 6s. That's a 1. Battles it into a 1, but lands a 6.
Got the 6.
Roll that 6 again.
Well,
Could not change the 1.
Well, on a 6, I get more attacks on successful.
Yeah, so roll for the second attack if that 6 was for the bonus. A 3.
Okay.
So, at the end they were, starting to push Peach's back, and she was, again, stabbing out and thrusting out with her spear to keep them at bay. You come streaking around past her on this side, weapons out in front of you, leaping forward and stabbing. This one goes wide because you run onto the side, you were jumping to the side, but the other one is a direct hit right into its chest. It thunks in all the way up to the hilt. Ooh, I rolled a 6. That was the one that had been struggling to get up. So as you slam it into its other shoulder, breaking its arm down and knocking its shoulder pieces inside of its chest cavity. As you slam down on top of it, your hand grazed up over grazed up over its body, and it sunk its teeth in deeply into your wrist. You can see blood welling up over the fur immediately. You take 3 damage.
If I were to use stabbing Ren, since I can do that after a successful attack, would that maybe prevent this damage?
No, he
Would
rolled.
it maybe kill it?
He rolled. You can try to add more damage with it, but he definitely bit you with the attack.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I'll go ahead and use stabbing Ren.
Peace.
Just keep.
I just need to more. You guys okay?
Not interested.
That's a D8.
I think there should be enough for
Yeah,
right.
it's 8.
A 4.
Can I use one of my Furious 4s to add a D4 to that?
You sure can.
Let's go. Well,
It adds a 1.
it's a 5. I'm alright, thank you.
So with a heave and a feral-like cat-like grunt, you bring your arm dragging around. Because its teeth were clamped firmly over your arm when you did it, your weapon does drag down along the other side of its arm, breaking some of the weaker, softer parts of its shoulder and its rib cage. So that as you break into its chest cavity, there's just kind of goop and some murky stuff in there.
Ooh.
You take 1 more damage on top of that as the teeth grazed along your arm.
So how much damage was it altogether?
4.
And then 19.
But that one, its head laid off at the top, its arms missing, and its massive cavity in its chest is just writhing and shaking there on the ground.
Okay. It's gonna die. Do I get another?
And there's 1 more in front of Peaches where she's trying to keep it at bay with her staff.
Can I use lunging stab?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Have a good night. We will see you next time.
Next time.
Good night.
An 8.
Nice.
Is it?
Oh, still
He tried to
And when I
battle
roll
real
an
quick.
8 on lunging stab, it steals an item.
Wow.
And I get to reroll my 8 anyway.
You still his eyeball.
Lunging past where Peaches is poised and lunging past the spear, you slam into its wet, soft, mushy body.
Good stuff.
Weapon firmly planted into its chest. As it push it back and slam it against the railing of the ship, its back leans over the side of it. Your weapon still embedded into its chest. With its hands, it's going to try to, reach up and try to grab your face and your arms and try to scrape and grab. As you lean over the railing and you hear its back start to give. It does get hands over your arms and drags its fingers forcefully along your forearms as its back snaps from the pressure you applied on it.
Wow.
As you grab it by its legs and hoist it over the side of the ship, it tumbling over end, splashes into the water. Oh wow! You take 3 damage.
It's alright.
But one more. Actually, they're both the ones on that side. You can take off the ship. They've been dispatched.
These two?
Yep.
I got them both. Let's go. Alright, is the slippies?
Go ahead. You had landed hard in the water, and after devouring that one, looking back further along the side of the boat, you would have seen the one that Shadow knocked into the water, landing with a splash. Immediately, it's like clawing at the very bottom of the ship right over the water's waves, trying to get a hand to get back aboard.
I'll swim to it and use a predate zombie to leech HP from it.
Okay.
It's a dang D6.
2. So it's
I'm
unaware.
gonna use Raven Predate Bow to re-roll.
Reroll it. You got it.
Alright,
4.
let's go.
Nice. Splashing in the water, you get close enough to it where you can leap at it. And as you put your body against it, it was already 4 or 5 feet up out of the water over the ship. It slides down a foot or 2 from your added weight. Latching onto it, you let the zombify sort of spell radiate out from you, from where your hands and fingers are dug into its, wet, soft skin. You only get 1 HP back. And if it noticed that you were sapping its strength, you have no way to tell. Though now it's going to try to reach over back to grab you, but as it does, it slides even further and further down until you're just inches over the water, hanging from the side of the ship. It's going to try to grab you with a D4. A 4. Roll to evade.
No.
D4 2 or
A
D6?
D6. Hits the 6! Oh, I hit 2 4s. I hit 3 4s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you hit a second 6! Wow, so 2 6s and a 4, and I hit 2 4s. Nice. So as you feel yourself like trying to absorb the zombified merfolk, it brings its hand over and you feel it into the top part of your skin over your armor, digging deep into your flesh. You take 2 damage. But with one hand, you've drug it down far enough now to where its legs and midsection are back in the water. Take another action.
Let's see. Well, since it is in bite range, I'll use predate fangs.
Nice, you got it.
A 2.
A 2. As it was trying to bite and claw at you, you savagely let out a growl, and you sink your teeth into it, and immediately wish that you hadn't. It's rancid, putrid, rotted flesh and soft bone.
Tastes like Play-Doh.
It's like Play-Doh and like a car tire.
Not a car tire.
Better beaten.
Like one of them rubber balls you get from you just take a bite. Yeah.
That is one thing worse than biting into an apple and finding a worm. Is biting into an apple and finding half a worm.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah.
we have words.
So that does end your turn. It comes around to Drum's turn. There was that one zombified merfolk that was clamoring on top of you. And though you were trying your best to pummel it, to push it away, it was scratching and clawing at your face.
I assume I dropped my scimitar.
Yeah, when you had to be using fists last time, so
Yeah.
you sheathed it.
Have I successfully at least shoved it off, or... Alright, can I first roll to do that?
Yeah.
Create a little bit of space.
A 2. And a 5.
What did I do?
Putting an arm up like this, you try to push and pry it away from you. And you do, though its hands were already raked and dug into your body. As you push it off and away, it lands skittering on its feet. You take 2 damage.
Alright.
These things don't like you.
Well, since I don't have my scimitar, I would like to equip my iron punishing staff.
Nice.
Punishing.
Yeah.
Do what?
He reserves his iron rod only for punishing.
Yes. And I'd just like to do a similar stance to what I do with the scimitar, where I just wait for him to come at me again, and I'm just ready for the next.
Roll d6. It's a 1.
Good lord.
Holding it up in the blocking position, it springs at you with a 4. Roll to evade. 5. Because you were holding the staff out, its hands, grimy and white and dark gray, slide along the rod as his mouth grabs the middle of it, biting into it. He's not even causing any scratches on it because it's iron, but he is biting deep into the middle of it with his hands sort of grasping it where your hands are.
While he's biting it, I would like to use my Kimigiri leg kick with a 1 charge and just try to knock him down.
Got it. Go ahead. 6. Roll it again.
Let's go.
A second 6. Roll it again. Roll it again.
4.
Oh man, 6, 6, 4. I hit a 5. So your first kick, boom, hits it kind of low, and you hear something in its leg snap and give. As it's still struggling with its teeth into your rod, you bring your leg around again. Say, "Get off me, you bastard!" You kick it higher on its leg this time, causing it to snap and crack so violently that its leg at the shin falls off.
Nice.
As it's standing there on one leg now, scrambling to get at you, it's going to try to, with its mouth still over the bar, reach over with its hand to try to graze at your face with a 6.
Hit it in there and make it something else.
Oh, I have moved my dice out of the playing area.
If you knock it off the edge, you still have to reroll. No.
Can I take the damage and roll for a 3rd kick?
Yes. A 4. So as its claws graze over the side of your face, you feel blood welling up immediately. Gritting your teeth through the pain, you whip your leg around a 3rd time, higher this time, kicking it so hard and sharply in its leg that at the hip now, with the rotting cloth still around the top of it at its waist, the leg and the bone and the skin just drops off onto the deck. You take, you took the damage. That is a 6. That is a second 6. It's a 3rd 6. You take 8 damage, and as you reel away from the force of the attack, you can't see anything out of this eye. It's been totally scratched over.
Oh man, character development.
That'd be a badass scar.
You're gonna be like Slug now with that scar.
Close your other eye.
I'm pretty sure I already had a burn here anyway, so it's just more development.
There it is.
I just say, welcome to the group.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, then it does come around to Peach's turn.
Honey Mustard also has a scar on the same part of his face.
Sprinkles did fly out ahead of you with claws,
synchronicities.
teeth, and daggers bared. Knocking one down and away before forcefully pushing the other one against the rail and breaking its back over the railing brutally.
Let's go.
With those 2 dispatched, you can look further ahead in the ship, and you see not only this big, bulbous, misshapen, muscled one turning. It's got, it's locking eyes and grunting at Drum, who, at that very moment, he was like, you see him whip out with a kick and another one. And then he goes, ah, stepping back as the leg falls off of it. But it's still sort of doing a half hop, letting go of the punishing rod, letting his teeth out. Is it's sort of hopping backwards comically on one leg.
Somebody get a bucket.
I want to, I guess, take my spear, and I want to use assault, and just kind of like charge at the man.
There's the one that's already pretty injured attacking Drum, and the other larger one with the big misshapen muscular half of its body that's like turning with its back against the front of the ship up here.
Yeah,
and his head's kind of just dangling off.
His head is dangling off to the side, though it seems to be moving around,
I have the one that's attacking Drum to help him out.
Okay.
Thank you.
You just take his other leg.
Roll for assault.
I forgot how to breathe.
A 4.
Oh, 4.
Through a bloody haze of pain as Drum was stepping back, instinctively covering his face. With your other eye through the red, you can see that merfolk was like hopping as if to try to get close to you. And then you hear... Peaches come running off the side of your vision, just full on tackling it from the side. Boom! The other leg breaks off, and its head whips to the side as you slam it into the deck, sliding along the wet planks with it, beneath you. Its legs both knocked off, and its sort of head sort of tilted off to the side like this. You can already feel its bony hands over your arms and over your back as it's trying to bite and scratch at you.
So it's holding on to me?
You're sort of straddling over top of it,
Okay.
but both its legs have been broken off, and its head seems twisted in an odd way. But the mouth is still trying to bite at you, and you can already feel the hands sort of clambering up over you, trying to find a place to dig in.
You should just get up and laugh at it.
Stupid. You dummy.
You've got that lance too, you can just poke it.
Just chop its head off.
I want to try to so I'm on top of it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to try to twist its head off. Or am I not strong enough to do that?
You're not sure if you're strong enough to do it, but you can definitely try it.
Alright, let's go. Oh, just kidding, I can't do it.
Slapping a hand over its face and grabbing it by the neck, you try twisting it off to the side. Your thumb ends up sliding into its mouth as it's chattering.
Joke's on you, I like that.
He says, Daddy.
Though all you do, press his head hard to the side. His mouth clamps down over your thumb. You take 1 damage.
Oh, that's...
Oh, not your
And you can take 1 more action.
Okay. Do I have my weapon?
I sit on its face.
Oh, let's go.
Oh my god. Do I have my weapon with me? Or
Yeah, I mean, you had
Oh.
it's still in your
Okay,
hands,
yeah.
but you had just, enraged by the moment, just slammed into it as hard as you could.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to stab it and try to kill it.
Nice.
If I can.
Stab and kill, stab and kill.
I'll use assault again too.
Nice.
5.
5, nice. And I hit a 2. So yeah, slamming its head down like this, you rear back up over it, spear like this, and as soon as it turns its sort of half-tilted, broken head back around, sneering at you, you just thrust the spear down right in between its big black bulbing eyes. It almost like popping a balloon full of pudding. I love painting these great visuals for y'all.
You ever accidentally broke the yolk of an egg?
Yeah.
Shit.
As runny, wet gray matter comes spilling out of the cracked open spot in the top of its head.
That's a bad
You see the guy that's cleaning the poop tank tonight just goes,
I got it. And he's the one with the broken leg.
They get him a bucket.
Clean up front.
But that one is also dispatched. So now there is really just one left, and it is your action. As you are swinging back around to this part of the ship, moving in closer, you can see it had, with a thunderous punch, it had pushed Irving back, 5 feet. And as it sort of rears its head back like this, it's dangling on its shoulder. It rears its shoulders back, like bringing this hand up again. It looks like it's ready to puff itself up to attack something.
Can I attempt to hit him in the knee, like full charge at his one of his knees? I guess the weaker looking one.
Okay.
Shadow use takedown.
Yeah. Shadow use takedown. We try and learn new moves, boys.
Yeah.
Going for the takedown. A 6! You're on your way to learning that move. Let's go. 3.
All these 6s give me.
Ooh, and he hit a 1. Beautiful.
You ain't here for it, boy.
And Irving was already weapons out, like braced from the attack as it was reeling its body up to surge at him. But then up over the railing of the ship, coming into view, the ball-like ghostly form of Shadow as he streaks in, slamming into his leg. The leg sort of shifts inwards a little bit, makes a popping sound, and the whole thing, the whole zombie sort of tilts a little bit, losing its balance momentarily. Go ahead and roll for a follow-up attack.
I will swoop back around, attempting to take it out again.
Okay.
Do it again.
Do it again.
A 5. Nice. Let me see. I'm off balance. That's a 3. Swooping around behind it this time, as you're stepping up closer, you see, you can sense the air around Shadow slipping and moving as he forcefully rams himself into the back of that same leg. The zombie, again, reeling this hand up like this, goes to almost double over backwards. But then, as it's reeling, its head tilted, falls backwards. It's hanging on by skin, but as it falls backwards over the back of its head, it does see you there. So, as it's trying to balance itself by putting its hands back on the deck, it's going to slam its fist down as hard as it can to try to press you down with a 6. It's going to battle it into a 3, but hits a 1.
Okay, it wasn't a 6.
Its fist comes down over, hitting you so hard, you boom, and then boom, you hit the ground almost dribbling like a basketball. Boof, and you roll a little bit up against the side of the ship. You take 2 damage. Now it is back to Irving's turn. Yes. As Peaches gets back up to her feet next to Drum, it is Irving, Shadow, Peaches, and Drum all in a semicircle. The deckhand behind this massive lurking zombified merfolk, whimpering with his shattered leg. He's holding it weakly. As it's sort of right there in front of you, like. Actually, it had knocked you down like this, and you had rolled over here, so actually you're over here. As it, was tottering, and it, boom! It's almost rights itself from the force of the shock. So as your turn starts, it's still, 6.5 feet tall, with its big, black, purple, veiny arm of rotten flesh and skin. Like at the other half of the chest over here, amongst the tattered cloth, you see ribs and you see bones sticking out.
Is its head still
Yeah, its head is all the way behind it now, looking out behind it.
Nice, like a hoodie, dude.
Yeah, it's hanging off like a hood, y'all.
I'm gonna run up and just try to garden shear it, garden shears it with my daggers.
Go ahead.
Shing. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Nah, not with
A 2 and a 4.
I said do it, not to
As you leap up at it, knives out, it just brings its fist around in one big meaty strike. Boom, right in your chest.
Ooh.
Boof, you take 2 damage and you're knocked back again, skittering on your feet, sliding along the wet deck.
The wet
do a
deck.
fluttering attack and try it again.
Yeah.
The wet deck.
Oh, it's...
It's soap.
Deck.
We done soaked that deck.
It's soaked.
Welcome to StevieMillPlays.
Appreciate y'all for staying around for the late night part of this session, where it is slippery out here, I promise you. Be careful on the deck of this ship, y'all. You will fall.
Yeah.
Can we be
Slippery when wet.
Can I do the fluttering attack to try and fly back in and hit him again?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to do the same thing with my daggers.
Okay.
Should I roll 2? Or just 1?
Yeah, you can do 2 for your 2 daggers.
Oh no.
Can I do 2?
That's not your phone.
That first one was a 3.
I'm going.
Probably shouldn't have rolled.
We don't want no
feet
feet
die.
die.
I'm not trying to.
Take a beat.
Battled it and hit the 6.
Get
Roll
another
again.
roll.
Knocked it into a 6. That's 1 6 on each
That's
dice.
a 2.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I gotta put it back.
I'm so sad. I used up my luck now.
Into a 6.
This is 2.
That's 2.
Sixes. Let's go.
Oh.
Lands the
wow.
3 6s.
6.
Response is a 2. So,
Is the audio still on?
the audio? Yeah. I have the scroll wheel was moving when I was audio still on. Yeah. There we go. So yeah, Fluttering Strike. How much MP and what dice do you roll for it now?
It is 1 AP and a D8.
So now it's wow, it's 3 AP and a D10.
Wow.
We'll call it we'll call it Feather Leap Blow. So as you leap up 1 foot, touching the railing of the ship for just a moment, you step off of it, wings fluttering out behind you. As you were going to sail clean over it, both your blades come down in an arcing X-like motion. As you land over on the other side, in front of where the deckhand is cowering, covering his wound, the head lops off, and the whole beast was in mid-punch, just falls forward. Boom! Black, ichory, grimy blood spewing out of its neck.
Can I have its head?
Sure.
Nice.
It's a zombie merfolk head.
Nice.
Holding it up, you yell in victory out over the ocean.
Squawk. Squawk.
Nice. And so after that, boom, boom, and caw, it's deathly silent over the boat, except for the splashing of the waves. You're still out there over the edge of the water, right?
He's on the one that was climbing up.
Oh,
Still
yes.
remember? Yeah.
It was slid down and it was sort of stuck there. So there is one more. You're right there in range if you want to go ahead. And it's also your turn.
End.
It's both of ours.
Duo.
Yeah, I mean, I could hold it in place while you shoot it, so it's easier for you to hit.
I mean, I could just stab it.
I think it's down close
I
to
think
the
it's
water.
like a little further down.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
down at the base of the.
Okay, then yeah, I guess if he wants to hold it, I'll shoot it.
He is holding it. And so you each want to roll for an action. You can see if you can team up.
I have to roll a d6. So.
Yeah, I'll just roll 6. I'll see what it is. Actually, I'll use Predate Singe to heat up
Okay.
while I'm holding it.
Nice. A little predate singe.
Okay, what was that new heating move that you got?
Boil to heat up the area.
Roll.
Would
I'm
that-
waiting until
would
I
that
can-
work?
Try and get more enemies.
Let's
around.
Hits a 6.
Oh.
Hits a 3. You gonna battle it? You gonna battle
I
it?
got it.
See if you can try to match it on a 6. Battles it into a 4.
Imagine.
So as you feel your hands, steam and smoke comes off of them as you sink through its skin and through its tattered cloth into its bone, and you feel your fingers even start to slowly sink through its wet bones. At the same time, you drawing your arrow back, line up the shot perfectly. So as soon as that same familiar arcing of yellow magical light jumps out of the arrow as you loose it, it streaks down the side of the ship, hitting the merfolk in the head so hard that the arrow hits it, and his head literally explodes in a showering spray of bone, dark gray brains, and lightning energy. You do take 1 damage from the force of the impact from the skull shrapnel.
You set off the shrapnel.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
So then, with the last enemy dispatched, and you're still floating in the water there next to the ship for the moment, that eerie silence falls over the ship. Is the captain looking down over the wheel, surveying everything? He says, that's the worst luck I've ever had. Sailing for 40 years, and I've never seen grim folk like that come out of the waters. I've only ever heard stories.
What about this big one? I heard about him.
Nothing.
Is there any way that I could attempt to possess the dead body, or no? Probably not there yet.
It is not and it's not alive anymore. But everyone does get 25 experience for defeating those.
That
those
is a
folk.
level up.
Levels.
Nice.
Levels.
Let's go. We love
Nice. And what a perfect place then to set it down for the night. It is getting just a little bit late. I know people got work and people got sleep. But I definitely want to thank everyone for tuning in, for checking us out on YouTube, for supporting us. Please give us a like and a follow at StevieMillPlays. As now the bone quiet ship continues sailing north, the somewhat cloudy sky, sprinkling stars here and there. You can definitely see up out ahead a bigger, thicker column of darker clouds up off on the horizon. So it seems like there's a storm coming in. The wind always omnipresent on the water. It was whipping through the sails quickly as the little flag on top spins one way and then spins another way from the volatile gusts. So you're definitely heading into rougher waters as the mists sort of break way and the waters get choppy and sort of treacherous as the ship starts to slowly bob back and forth over the rough waves. Captain says, "Well, it's going to be a rough night, everyone. Better batten yourselves down." And we will get to the levels, and we will make sure we get all of that set. As we wind it down, we are going to see just what happens if they can weather the storm and ultimately get to their destination during the next session. So definitely thank you all again for checking us out. Hope you all had fun. We hit some triple sixes tonight. That was absolutely spectacular. We got
DM and player.
We got we got
with the damage.
I was trying my best, y'all. I was trying my best. So definitely thank everyone for checking us out. And if you want to see what will happen, then you will have to catch us
Next time!